P&D Sports, an exclusive video broadcast.
Host the NYC Boldest, the Department of Corrections. Both teams have been very competitive so far this year. John, obviously it's going to be a highly competitive game tonight.
Absolutely. Fire Department of New York coming off a tough loss 2 weeks ago down in Nashville, Tennessee, a neutral site game against the Chicago Enforcers, Mike, and really a pivotal part of this season here today at Aviator Field in Brooklyn. FD looking to rebound after a tough loss, putting no points on the board other than the Francis Cole field goal.
Yeah, just one loss for each of these teams, and both to that same team and Chicago Enforcers. So we're going to see exactly how they're able to rebound. These teams have played the last 3 years, FDNY taking all three of those matchups. Close games in a couple of instances, but you and I called that game last year, and FDNY was able to take that game. We'll see exactly how it plays out tonight, but we definitely have some interesting storylines here. We'll start it off with a change at quarterback for FDNY. That's going to be Tommy Heedles back under center.
Well, I mean, listen, breaking news as stories go in this league, none bigger than this week with number 10, Tommy Heedles, under center, the last snap he took in the Fun City Bowl 2024. I talked to the offensive coordinator for the fire department, Vinny Sheeta, Mike, and Vinny Sheeta said, John, I got one word for you, trust. I trust Tommy Heedles to do the job. He's a veteran guy, a fifth year on this team, a good athlete. And Rob Wheeler, who started last week at quarterback, will get the start today at wide receiver. So a bit of a mix and match here today for the fire department, looking to jumpstart that offense. Only 3 points, as we mentioned, 2 weeks ago against Chicago.
Yeah, I think we will see certainly a lot of athleticism on both sides of the ball today. An interesting storyline for the corrections team, the Boldest, is that they are going to bring in a few guys from the Philadelphia team, which did not field a team this year. So they brought a few players up from Philadelphia Police Department, and they certainly added some athletes there. We'll see them on the field today as we get ready for the national anthem here in just a moment. After we do that, we'll talk about the keys to the game and highlight some key players for the year. Here's the keys to victory for the Boldest. They want to get those playmakers in space. We talked about some of those athletes, John, and trying to get those guys in space, get the ball in their hand. They're going to run a spread option offense, right? They're going to be running some RPO as well today.
And with the new offensive coordinator for the Boldest, look for a lot of passes underneath. FDNY secondary tends to play back a little bit, but let's now go live to the national anthem.
There's a rendition of the national anthem. The players will be out to flip the coin and get things started. But back to the keys to victory for the Boldest. We'll move over to the Bravest now. They're going to have to limit those mistakes. Obviously, John, limited to 3 points in their last outing. They're going to need to limit those mistakes and convert third down. Sustained drive is going to be important to keep the Boldest offense off the field.
Well, Mike, you said it, and 2 weeks ago down in Nashville, in two of the opening drives for the fire department, 2 costly turnovers that really set the tone for the Chicago Enforcers in that win 2 weeks ago against the fire department. Mentioned earlier, no points in the end zone for the fire department of New York, and they're going to have to definitely change things up here today. Another thing to mention, Mike, that we didn't get to before the anthem, and that's the change of quarterback this season for the Boldest. Last year in this game, it was Cameron Palmer, the big offensive threat, will now be starting at wide receiver for the Boldest, and it'll be Lamont Adels under center, a very aggressive guy who is mobile and can run the football and has a great arm as well.
He's number 5 is Adels, and he will certainly be a key to the game for the Boldest offense. And we mentioned it with the Bravest, specifically trying to limit their QB in place. So, all right, so let's go to the spotlight players right now. We'll start it out with the Boldest. Travis Briggins, defensive back for the Department of Corrections. He's worked for the Department of Corrections for many years and played on this team for 14 seasons, John. He played at American International College, and as you can see there on his quote on the broadcast, he's 39 years old, still loves to do what he does, and that's a common theme for these players.
Absolutely. As we take a look now at the coin toss at midfield out there for the Bravest, Mike, the captains, Eric Ortega, number 4, number 23, John Moody, number 52, John Seda, and number 95, Denzel Wilson.
Another player spotlight for Department of Corrections is Kaz Minot. Kaz is in his 12th season with the Boldest, and he's really the star of the show in a lot of ways behind the scenes and helping to keep this team organized.
Mike, you said it. I mean, Kaz Minot in his 12th season, 45 years young, if you can believe that. Minot will make a difference here today as one of the go-to receivers for Lamont Adels. 12th season. He's also part of a multi-federal agency on the job. 17 years with corrections, 11 seasons with the federal government.
Yeah, and on the Bravest side, we've got a couple of veteran players. John Moody, his 8th season with the FDNY Bravest. Moody, number 22. He roams the defensive backfield for the Bravest, as well as Denzel Wilson. He's a force up front. John, you and I have called multiple Bravest games, and he is one guy that makes a lot of plays up front, number 95.
Very interested in the matchup today between Denzel Wilson and Thaddeus Kavanaugh, the big center for the Boldest. And next up, we've got Trey Wilson.
Trey Wilson, number 21. He totes the rock for the FDNY. And when the offense is going good, Trey Wilson's usually in the middle of it, picking up first downs and making big plays.
He's a north-south kind of guy. Trey Wilson, the freight train, will be the number 1 running back today. And we have our kickoff about to commence.
That's right.
Here at Aviator Field in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us here on this NPSFL network broadcast. Dynamic kickoff rules in play. Francis Cole, the FDNY kicker. We've seen a number of games in this league, John. He is certainly a standout kicker, the best one in the league. You'll see him boom kicks all night, both on kickoffs and if they get anywhere near field goal range. We've seen him hit from 50, and we'll see if he has any of those opportunities tonight. And here is the opening kickoff. Cole booms it deep. It is going to be fielded in the end zone, and they have decided to down it. That was number 7 for the Boldest. That's Darren Wesley. He bobbled the kick and then moved to decided to down it as FDNY Bravest defense was closing in on him. All right, so there we go. We're going to go to the starting offense here for the Boldest. John had already mentioned Lamont Adels starting at QB. And we've got a couple other players. Kaz Minot, we mentioned already. Cam Palmer at wide receiver. Nicholas Threadgill going to be in the backfield there, as well as Darren Wesley on the outside. We'll keep track of the trenches, the meetings of the trenches. Teddy Kavanaugh under center. He's going to try and stave off Denzel Wilson and that powerful FDNY Bravest defense.
Big matchup there. Teddy Kavanaugh, a firefighter just outside of Philadelphia. Joined this team in Ireland this year on March 16th.
Minot back to pass. There we go. Adels back to pass. Excuse me. Incomplete. So throwing on first down. That was intended for number 14, Aaron Augustus. who plays both ways, but at wide receiver there, that pass intended for him. But on first down, already under pressure was Adels.
And that was Michael Hart, the linebacker, 215, 6'2", putting the pressure on Lamont Adels, and it's a good sign early from the fire department, who really do want to get off to a strong start here. Another player that we did not mention, Mike Blewett, I consider the best two-way player out on the field today for the Boldest, number 23, Jasen Wint out of Ohio State University. A thrill to watch. Keep your eye on number 23 as well.
One starting lineup change for the Bravest was Jason Carter on number 50. You'll see him patrolling the middle at linebacker. He's into the starting lineup here, and Adels gets one out quick to number 1, Palmer, who's wrestled down for a loss. Screen pass there, ineffective, John. That goes for a loss of 3.
Let's take a look at it again. Watch the pressure here from Khalifa Forbes. He ain't going anywhere. Forbes plays it beautifully, and the secondary got beat up 2 weeks ago, both in the chat rooms, online, and they showed some vulnerabilities, to be quite honest, Mike. The secondary for the fire department of New York, I know they're proud. They want to come back strong here today against the Boldest.
All right, so we got a 3rd and 12, ball spotted at the 24-yard line of the Boldest, and that is Adels back in shotgun formation. He's back to pass. Under pressure, he rolls out to his left. He's going to try to have to get rid of it. He's all the way back into his own end zone now. He avoids pressure, and that pass is complete to number 14, Augustus, but well short of the first down marker. Maybe gets it back to the line of scrimmage, and it's already a 3-and-out. They'll be punting to the FDNY Bravest.
Adels had nowhere to go. Credit him for keeping this play alive. And look at the pressure here by Zerbo, who's in on the tackle for the fire department. And like you said, Mike, 3-and-out. You can't ask for a better start for the fire department on that series defensively.
Zerbo, a big veteran, and played at Wagner College, but he's getting up there in years for a football player, but he's as effective as anybody out here.
Absolutely. You're going to see some linebackers traditionally with the fire department. We're going to get to see them on the offensive line tonight, Mike, and it's a patchwork O-line. We'll talk about that when the fire department takes over.
So Andrew Fusco is out to handle the kicking duties right here, and back to receive it. I believe that's Eric Ortega. It is Ortega, and not a great kick, but they get a friendly bounce. Ortega's going to get away from it, and it'll be down to inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line. That one touchdown by Darren Wesley. We'll hit a message right now and come back right after this. All right, we are back here from Aviator in Brooklyn. 3-and-out for corrections, and FDNY Bravest offense will take over. Like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, it's going to be Tom Heedles under center for Bravest, a switch at quarterback from their previous game, a loss to Chicago. And in the backfield with Heedles will be Trey Wilson that we highlighted at the top of the broadcast. All right, tight formation here. Power look for FDNY Bravest, and it's going to be a handoff to Wilson, who's off the right tackle and upfield for about 6 yards. Good play on first down, 2nd and 4.
Excellent job. They'll take it 10 times and Sunday. Moving to his right, Wilson hesitates there, finds a little bit of room. It's good for about 7 yards, Mike. And we got to know, too, Thomas not in the ball game today, so Trey Wilson should be seeing a lot more reps in Thomas's absence.
And Wayne Harris on the tackle for Boldest, and it'll be 2nd and 4. They're up to their own 42-yard line, so Heedles in the shotgun formation. In motion, we have, I believe that's Evan Flowers in motion. He sets up, looking for a screen pass. He does get it back out to Trey Wilson, who is met really at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 there, but they tried a quick hitter there to Wilson. not only maybe a yard on the play.
Let's take a look at it again. Defensively, the Philly guy, George Lutz, in on the tackle. Just his third game with the Boldest. And there is Lutz right there, number 21, Philadelphia Police, playing linebacker today, a close friend of Kaz Minot. Kaz Minot really responsible for bringing these Philly guys in. It all culminated earlier this year, March 16th in Ireland.
3rd and 3 for the Bravest. Looks like we might have had somebody jump off sides there. They try to go the handoff to Trey Wilson. He's met behind the line of scrimmage. No flag on the play. I thought we had an encroachment there on corrections, but it's going to be no gain there, and it'll be 4th down punting situation.
We'll take a look at it again. It did look like there was some movement on that defensive line, which enabled them to get a big push. And Heedles has nowhere to go. And, you know, Mike, if you're Tom Heedles, I don't care what anybody says. There's got to be some nerves for number 10, Tommy Heedles, his first start since June of last year.
Yeah, he's been in that position before, but to your point, John, he's going to have to knock some rust off during live action like this, and it's been a while since he's taken those snaps. Cole back to handle punting duties as well. Bad snap, but he gets it off. A booming kick, a massive kick. That one's going to get all the way inside the 5-yard line, takes a friendly roll, and downed at the 7-yard line of corrections. That was number 7 for FDNY. I believe it's Khalifa Forbes downing it inside the 10-yard line. It'll be spotted officially at the 8-yard line.
Cole proves it time and time and time again. Another beautiful punt from Cole, which backs up the Boldest all the way to the, looks like the 7-yard line, Mike.
Yeah.
And, you know, special teams, we haven't talked about it much, really, I believe, will be the key to this game. Steve Orr guaranteed a block punt in this game. So, Steve, we're going to hold you to that one. And I wouldn't be surprised if this comes down to a field goal late in the 4th quarter. We shall see.
All right, so 2 3-and-outs back-to-back. We'll see if Boldest can get something going here with Adels in shotgun formation. He's got Threadgill next to him, and they're going to go with the handoff to Threadgill right up the middle. He's met at the line of scrimmage. It'll be no gain, and we're looking at 2nd and 10 for correction. Here's you see the replay here.
Number 50, Jason Carteron. Boom, right there, head on. As he stands him up.
Gang tackle there by Bravest, but certainly Carteron, like I said, inserted into the starting lineup. Yeah, he makes his first play of the night.
6'1", 210. Shows you right there the impact he's making early here for the fire department defense.
Loud crowd here in Brooklyn, so you hear that noise, the fans going nuts for FDNY. All right, back to pass is Adels, and he gets it over the middle to number 1. That's Cam Palmer, and he does have the catch. Positive gain there, just a few. So really trying to get the ball out quick is Adels. We've seen a screen pass and a couple of quick ones over the middle, trying to pick up some yardage. It looks like it'll be about 3rd and 6 here, John.
Yeah, Mike, it's the first time Adels really all game long has had time to throw the football. He finds his big receiver, Palmer. Once again, Zerbo involved with multiple defenders for the fire department. And just like that, Mike, it's 3rd down.
We'll see what corrections can do here on 3rd and long. There's Adels. The ball is spotted at the 10, so Adels in shotgun formation, his heels on the 5-yard line. And they send the back in motion here. And Adels is going to call his own number on the keeper. He is gets away from a couple of tackles. He's across the 15-yard line, but it ends there. They're going to spot it officially at the 14-yard line. That's going to make it 4th and 4, and they'll be punting it away again. We'll probably head to a break after this punt, but one thing you should know, about the commercials that you see during the course of the broadcast?
Watch this block here by Harris.
Yeah.
Boom!
That's a big block.
Oh, my
A little
gosh.
bit of a blindside hit
Yeah,
there.
kind of late, too. But go ahead, Mike.
One thing you should know about the commercials, not what you normally see on a broadcast. These are all sponsored commercials, first responder created, owned, and specifically geared towards these first responders who are sacrificing themselves on the field tonight, but for our community each and every day.
I don't think people have any idea what it's like to handle family, to handle your job, and to also commit to this league and your team. It really is remarkable what these guys do week in and week out. And then you factor in some of these Philly guys and the Boldest, they're driving 2 hours up and 2 hours back just to be part of a team.
We're right near the Bell Parkway. It could be 3 or 4 hours on a given night. So here's the punt. He does get it off, and Ortega takes it at the Boldest 44. He's across the 40 down to the 36-yard line. We're going to head to a break right now and come back with more action.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief. I renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
All right, we're back here. FDNY Bravest going to take the ball at the Boldest 37-yard line, 1st and 10, halfway through the first quarter. And each team now with 2 possessions as Bravest will start out here. Again, Heedles in shotgun formation. Trey Wilson off to his right. He's got 4 wide now. Heedles rolls out to his right, and he's got a quick pass complete. That's to Ortega. Good for about 4 yards. John, it'll be 2nd and 6.
You know, that's vintage Tommy Heedles rolling to his right. He got Ortega out in the flat and hits him for the completion, and that's what Vinny Sheeta talked about before the game. Dink and dunk, go underneath, and a classic example right there, Heedles to Ortega.
We talked at the top of the broadcast about FDNY trying to pick up 3rd downs, sustain drives, keep Boldest off the field. Let's see if they can do that here. 2nd and 6, it'll be Heedles in shotgun formation. Once again, bunch set to his left. He fake handoff there. He rolls out to his left and overthrows Ortega in the flat. So that'll bring us to 3rd and 6. Heedles just off the mark on that one, John.
Absolutely. I want to point out, too, some of the changes on the offensive line. We talked about it early. Silazitsky, a linebacker, getting time at the O-line. We might even see Denzel Wilson on the offensive line today. And, of course, the big fella, 6'6" Jensen, one of the anchors of this offensive line for the Fire Department of New York.
Another Wagner College alum there is Adam Jensen. So, look, they've been able to establish some run in other games that we've done, John, and I think they'll probably want to go back to Trey Wilson on a key down, but on 3rd and long, I think they're looking to pass here, and there is Heedles. He does have time, and he has that complete. That is to Ortega, 1st down. Ortega was key in the win that we broadcasted a month ago against Tri-State, and here he is again.
Look at a veteran running a veteran route. Boom. He's in double coverage there, steps up just a couple of yards to bring in the Heedles pass. Ortega runs his routes beautifully, and a good example of it right there.
24-yard line is where they will be for 1st and 10. Just under 6 minutes to go in that first quarter. And here it is, Heedles again with Trey Wilson behind him. I'd expect a dose of Trey Wilson here as they try to establish.
Watch Eric Flowers far to the right, too.
Yeah, he's got a couple guys. We got a little bit of a blitz look here. Number 25 for corrections, and it's right up the middle to Trey Wilson. So they felt the blitz coming, and they go right up the middle. Wilson good for about 7 yards on that one, John.
Mike, you called it. Number 20. Look at the head of speed Wilson gets here. Bursts, boom, boom, keeps on going, drags one. It takes 3 guys to get Wilson down, and if you're head coach Cam Peake and offensive coordinator Vinny Sheeta, run him till the wheels come off. He is getting going early, and that's a great sign for the Fire Department.
I think that was wiped off the board. What happened there?
We'll wait for it, Mike. It hasn't officially been announced, but I don't see the fire department going anywhere. So it's going to go against the
He's
Boldest.
walking it off. It's against the Boldest, but okay. I think we got a penalty on Boldest, and they elect to take the penalty, which will give them a first down and 5, still inside the 20-yard line there, John. So we will – all right, there we go. Heedles and Wilson in the setup. Coming across the line of scrimmage, here's Waterman. The pitch to Wilson from the shotgun formation, and they meet him at the line of scrimmage, but he drives forward, gets down to the 16-yard line.
Is it me or is Trey Wilson, like, did he have his Wheaties this morning or what? Look at the drive with the lower body here, good for a couple of extra yards. Wilson lowers the shoulder.
Big block there by Waterman, who came in motion, seals an opportunity for Wilson to pick up a few extra yards.
Keeps going, keeps driving, keeps driving. Excellent job by Trey Wilson, and as you mentioned, a huge block as well. Cam Peake said we've got to execute better, we have got to be sharper, and on this drive right here, Mike, Fire Department of New York City looking very sharp indeed.
2nd and 2 from the 16. Heedles takes a low snap. He's going to call his own number. He does squeeze away from the pressure, and he throws to the end zone, and it is picked off. That is picked off by number 11, I believe that was, and that is Donnell Lazar, I believe. Yes.
It was number 11, Lazar.
Ill-advised pass there by Heedles.
Yeah,
go ahead, John.
Heedles probably wants this one back for sure. He put it up in the hope that number 10, who was his intended receiver, Mike?
I think that might have been Waterman.
It was Waterman.
To see that one. Okay, let's take a look at the FDNY Bravest starting defensive lineup. We took a look at the Corrections offensive lineup before, but we mentioned Denzel Wilson. Jason Carteron steps into the defensive lineup as a starter. Justin Hassan had a great game last time out when you and I called it for the NPSFL network, and then John Moody, another key player there.
And Malera will be getting a lot of playing time today based on that loss against Chicago. Some of the holes in that secondary exposed, and expect to see Malera in there as well today.
Okay, there is Adles on first down. He was under pressure, wrapped up, but fires it incomplete just to avoid the sack, and he does so.
So our first turnover of the game, Mike, and it was a costly one.
Yeah.
Just when the fire department gets the momentum, a huge play for the Boldest, stifling that drive.
So Donnell Lazar with a nice athletic play. He fronted the wide receiver, jumps up, he picked the ball off on the goal line, ran it back out to about the 15-yard line. So we talked about FDNY, John, sustaining drives. They had the ball in the red zone and just threw it away.
They did indeed, and that couldn't have come at a worse time. But right now, Adles has his hands full as well.
2nd and 10. They've done very little on offense so far. FDNY Bravest really putting pressure on them, and they do so again. He's going to tuck and run is Adles, and he does pick up a bunch of yards, gets it out to the 24-yard line. That'll still be a few yards short, a couple yards short of the first down.
And look at Denzel Wilson here. Absolutely beat his man, but goes beyond Adles. And look at Hassan coming in here like a freight train. Boom! Hassan is a beast at the linebacker position. A busted play, but good for a few yards.
Yeah, big tackle there. It'll be 3rd and 2 from their own 23-yard line.
Denzel Wilson absolutely destroyed his matchup there at nose tackle. Keep an eye on Wilson here.
All right, quick out pass there, but behind the line of scrimmage, dropped for a loss. I don't love that play call, John.
No, and you talk about having a nose for the football. Frank Zerbo has been all over the field tonight. Adles on the play action
He gets it out to number 9. That's Kaz Minot.
And a great read by Zerbo, the 45-year-old Kaz Minot, the president of this Boldest team. He does everything to stay in the field, Mike. Cryotherapy, hot yoga, physical therapy.
I need some of that as well. All right, we're going to hit a quick message right here. I'll be right back.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
Okay, here we are back, and it is a punting formation for Corrections. 4th and 4, and that's Ortega with his heels on the 48-yard line, not respecting the punting prowess right here for Corrections, and Ortega's got to chase that one down. It hits the 50, takes a bounce. He picks it up off the bounce, avoids a tackle. He's across the 50, up to the 47-yard line, so a decent return for Ortega. Risky pickup, though, on the bounding kick.
You know, and once again, excellent field position for the fire department. And, you know, we got to mention, Mike, 2 weeks ago down in Nashville, it was real grass, it was raining, it was muddy, it was sloppy. No excuses here today at Aviator Field. Beautiful conditions, the rain is held off, and the fire department practiced here just on Wednesday. This is a home game for FDNY, and they got to break through eventually.
FundTheFirst.com is the #1 trusted and free fundraising platform for those who serve their families and their friends. Fund the First is in the business of supporting first responders, military, and medical professionals. Visit FundTheFirst.com today to launch your fundraisers. So, all right, FDNY at the 48-yard line will be 1st and 10. So, again, in Corrections territory, John.
In Corrections territory, Francis Cole territory coming up. I mean, I'll take points any way we can get them.
Yeah, so we'll see what Heedles can do here. I believe that is a switch at running back, not Trey Wilson. Yeah, there he goes. Downfield, he's looking for Waterman down the middle. Incomplete just over his outstretched hand. So being aggressive on 1st down, trying to hit a big play.
You know, and I think this is a great example, too, of what Heedle's arm strength is all about. He also is willing to take risks. The big target, Waterman, just ahead of him. I'd rather see an aggressive mistake on a ball overthrown than underthrown. Also, since that interception, he's not tentative. Heedles is still slinging it. I like this possession to result in some points, Mike.
All right, Trey Wilson comes back in behind Heedles, who remains in shotgun. Bunch formation to his left. Singular outside to the right, and we've got a handoff to Wilson, who tries to kick it outside. He cuts it back upfield. He's going to pick up about 4 on the play. That'll make it 3rd and 6 for the Bravest at the 45-yard line.
And look at number 21, Trey Wilson, showing what his blocking ability is all about. He doesn't just run the ball. Wilson never gave up on this.
Okay, so we've had 3 possessions now.
I just want to give credit for the tackle there to Timmy Switzer.
Yeah.
For the Boldest.
Yeah. So 3rd possession for both offenses. We're still in the 1st quarter, so a lot of 3 and outs, not a lot of effective offense thus far. We'll see if the Bravest can pick up a very important
huge
3rd
down here, Mike. Huge.
Yeah, no doubt. Heedles rolling out to his right. He is looking way downfield, and he's got somebody. Underthrown by Heedles and chased down by number 4, Travis Briggins, who we talked about at the top of the broadcast. He had somebody deep. Who was that?
That was number 18 for the Bravest.
Babby.
Marco Bobby, wide open. I mean, you couldn't be more wide open. Bobby gets behind everybody.
Heedles throwing off his one leg. I think that caused the pass to fall a little bit short. If he set and threw, I think he might have hit Babby for a touchdown there. We've got Francis Cole back in punting formation.
Briggins was close to a pass interference. He was never looking at the ball, Mike.
Agreed.
His back was to the play.
Agreed. Cole with a good kick. What was that? What was that block there? That looked like number 11 for Boldest. That is Donnell Lazar. Leveled somebody during the return, but that punt bounds into the end zone. It is a touchback. We'll take a quick break and come back with more right after this.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
All right, we are back live from Aviator Sports Complex, in Brooklyn, New York. FDNY Bravest taking on the NYC Boldest, Department of Corrections, another NPSFL network broadcast. Excited to be here with you. I'm Mike Blute along with John Heffernan, and we are scoreless. Lots of possession, lots of 3 and outs here for these offenses. Can't get anything going. Here's Adels back to pass, and he hits Palmer in the hands. A little underthrown there. Palmer unable to come up with it, so it'll be 2nd and 10. One quick update during the break. We thought we saw a penalty. They did assess a penalty, a block in the back on number 11, Donnell Lazar, and that one resulted in a half the distance penalty, So their possession is beginning at the 10-yard line instead of the 20 on the touchback, and it is now 2nd and 10, John.
Also see Frankie Zerbo back out there on the gridiron.
There you go.
This guy has been phenomenal in this first quarter here at Aviator Field. He was limping a little bit, but no worse for wear. Number 44, the linebacker Zerbo, has stood out here defensively for the fire department in quarter number 1. All
right, there's Adels back to pass under pressure. He's in the end zone. He throws it away.
That's going to be.
That's either a fumble or they'd have to look at. A potential intentional grounding in the end zone.
That might be a safety.
If that's intentional grounding, then we got a safety. But they're saying he had. There it is.
There it is.
The flag goes. That'll be 2-0. That intentional grounding in the end zone on Adels that penalty will be assessed to be a safety. He was looking for somebody in the flat, which was Cam Palmer, but it didn't even come close to him, really.
There it is.
2-0 FDNY.
Again, the defensive pressure on that front 4 from the fire department causing all sorts of problems for the offensive line. And there was a hold there, too, by big number 62 for the Boldest. He got away with one there out of Starrett City Public Safety, Peter Curto. But either way, Mike, it's 2 points, and that's 5 points over the last 2 games.
Godfrey Taylor is number 45 for FDNY. He is really there on the pressure. He gets his jersey grabbed, still gets in Adels' face, and forces a quick throw there that results in the 2-0 lead for FDNY Bravest. We'll head to a commercial and come back right after this.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief, or renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
At Aviator Sports Complex. After the safety, corrections will be punting to Bravest, but the Billy Moon Foundation focuses on organ donation and can have a profound impact on not just a recipient, but donors and communities as well. They strive to be that lifeline of support for those in need. Visit BillyMoonFoundation.org for more information on how you can register to become an organ donor today. All right, here is the punt. Standing on his own 20-yard line. That ball does not land in the landing zone. That is a penalty that will result at the first down at the 40-yard line, should be. Based on those dynamic kickoff rules, it's got to reach at least the 30-yard line there, and he is not able to do it.
So, Mike, we got our first points of the ball game, though. I mean,
2-0.
We'll take them any way we can get them.
Yeah.
But all kidding aside, you got to look to the field goal in that game against Chicago, a safety here. What is it about this fire department offense that seems to be stalling?
It's a good question. I mean, Heedles obviously with the ill-advised pass there in the end zone. If they're grinding it out there with Trey Wilson and picking up a couple of first downs, you know as well as I do that they're in Cole's field goal range. So let's see what they can do here.
I'd like to see Eric Flowers get a little more involved.
All right, so one correction here. They don't reach the landing zone on the punt after the safety. It results at a first down at the 45-yard line. They're already in corrections territory.
Once again, phenomenal field position for the fire department. But you got to give a lot of credit to this defense for the Boldest.
No doubt. No doubt. They have. I mean, FDNY hasn't done anything on offense just yet. Frankly, neither of the offenses have. Bravest defense probably even standing out a little bit more, but we'll see what they do. Another bad snap, but Heedles gets one out quick. That's to number 2, Evan Flowers, and he picks up about, he's right at the first down marker, so a nice move by Flowers after the catch here, John.
Well, I just called his name. I said, this guy's got to get more involved. Heedles must have heard me. Flowers. And Curly Clarence gets punched in the face. Look at the stiff arm by Flowers. And Eric making a statement and a couple of extra after the stiff arm. But it's good to see number 2 connecting with Heedles, who's gotten the first start of this season. And Mike, talk a little bit about the cream of the crop. We'll get to it later, but Chicago undefeated along with the fire department, along with the police department of New York, 2 of the best teams in the league this year.
Yeah, we'll flash those standings next time we have a little bit of a break in the action. But Flowers picks up 9 on the play, 2nd and 1. There's movement there. That's going to be encroachment. Free play for FDNY. Heedles fires it. I can't tell. Did he catch that?
It's caught.
He does catch it.
Made by number 3 for the Bravest, Rob Wheeler. Wheeler started at quarterback last week, now at the wide receiver position. So I think this guy does it all.
I think that's a wash, really. I think they might take the penalty on this one because they might get an extra yard out of it. It's a first down either way, whether or not they take the completion or they take the penalty. I think you're just debating over a yard, so you take whichever is more. Let's little break in the action here. ECAD, Educated Canines Assisting with Disabilities. Our mission is to help enable people with disabilities to gain greater independence and mobility through the use of specially educated dogs. Visit ecad1.org to learn more about our Service Dogs program. Okay, first down at the 31-yard line here, and that is Heedles in the shotgun formation. Trey Wilson gets the handoff. That's right up the middle. He's met at the line of scrimmage, but falls forward for a gain of 4 yards, John.
Trey Wilson once again on first down. Following the block, a big number 75, Frank Nacarado. And Nacarado out of St. Peter's High School, 6'2", 240.
And that is the end of the quarter. Let's head to a quick message here from one of our first responder foundations and back to Aviator after that.
We're talking about the people who have put their lives on the line for this great country, the people who have lost and paid the greatest price for our freedom, for guys like me to be able to go sing songs about whatever I want to sing about every single night. And we're talking about an organization that helps support families and support the people that are running into the danger that the rest of us are running away from. And that's the kind of people I want to be beside. Those are the real heroes, man. I'm just a big fat guy with a guitar. Hey, y'all, this is Jelly Roll, and I am asking you to give $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to honoring the dignity of the American service member and is committed to helping end homelessness amongst the veteran community and ensure no veteran is left behind. Providing a safe and dignified home is an imperative part of helping veterans who are homeless reclaim their lives. Donate $11 a month by calling 1-844-BRAVEST or visit t2t.org.
All right, we are back, and here are the league standings. Before, we just want to show you quickly. Chicago at 3-0 has beaten both of these teams, John.
They have, both of these teams. It was a tight one against the Boldest, 28-25. And 2 weeks ago down in Nashville, Fire Department could only muster 3 points against Chicago, so they have risen to the cream of the crop along with the police department, both undefeated. Both of these teams here tonight, though, Mike, technically still have a shot at a national championship game being played on June 21st.
Absolutely. Ortega in motion. Heedles looking in his direction, but that pass is deflected and falls incomplete. It will be 3rd down and 8 for the Bravest. They are at the 30-yard line is where they stand right now. So technically in Francis Cole's range, but it'll be a long one.
A big 3rd down for the Fire Department. They lead it 2-0, Mike, and they've been snake bit on 3rd down so far throughout that first quarter. They could use a conversion right here to try to build off this slim 2-0 lead.
Like we mentioned earlier, FDNY has won the last 3 matchups versus Department of Corrections. 19-6 last year, 15-12 2 years ago, and 28-6 3 years ago. So trying to make it 4 in a row is Bravest. 2-0 lead here, early second quarter. Here's Heedles, takes the snap out of the shotgun formation. He's going to roll out to his right, and he looks over the middle. He's got Eric Ortega. Catch the pass. He's across the 10 to the 5, into the end zone. That's a touchdown. FDNY Bravest on the board on offense. That makes it 8-0, John, and a big play there. Ortega using his moves to get away.
And it all starts with the offensive line, giving Heedles plenty of time. He rolls out to his right. This is a veteran move. Little hesitation. Finds Ortega, who nearly dropped it. A quick bobble, he recovers, and look at the vision as he threads the needle there and gets in for 6, the first touchdown since the Tri-State game for the Fire Department.
Big time play there by Ortega, who, as John said, he bobbled it momentarily and then just found a seam in the defense. Defense really lost Ortega on that play, but an 8-0 lead, and they are going to go for 2 here, trying to make it 10. So no Francis Cole here. You do see Heedles in shotgun. He's got 3 wide to his right. Are they trying to get him to jump here? All right, calls an audible. It looks like no.
Yeah, they're going to
backing off.
Run
All right, and here's Francis Cole, who was one of those receivers out wide. They're going to go back to a standard PAT formation.
Look at Stevie Orr trying to confuse the Boldest.
And Cole nails it. That'll be good. 9-0. FDNY Bravest will hit a commercial break here and come back with more action live from the Aviator Sports Complex in Brooklyn.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise. I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know, and we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
All right, here we are live from Aviator Sports Complex in Brooklyn, where FDNY Bravest holds a 9-0 lead, courtesy of a safety, and they come right back down the field with a touchdown, courtesy of Eric Ortega.
As Cole gets set to kick, but not only a monkey off the back for Tommy Heedles, getting his first start of the year, but the first touchdown for the fire department since the game against Tri-State.
All right, Cole kicks it deep, and it's returned this time. They get it out to the 19-yard line, it looks like. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Boldest. We'll see if Adels and the offensive line can hold off this FDNY Bravest defense. John, it's been really difficult for them to get anything going thus far. Resulted in a safety. I think they don't even have a first down yet today.
And their backs have been up against it. Field position alone. The Boldest have been backed up due to the strong kicking of Francis Cole, the strong defense from the fire department of New York City, as Lamont Adels has not had a lot of room to roam at all. And we talked about Wint. He had a 94-yard pass and catch against Chicago, the former Ohio State Buckeye.
That's
so they
just
certainly,
Wint, number 23.
They're certainly capable of the big play, Mike. So don't keep your eyes closed for too long.
Some really good athletes out here, but to your point, John, if they can't hold off this FDNY pass rush, it's not going to do them much good. They're not going to be able to get the ball into any of these athletes' hands.
That was the longest passing catch in the
Boldest
history.
That one's not even going to snap. We're not even going to get off a snap there. We've got encroachment on number 42. That's Jonathan Carberry. He jumps early, 6 foot 230 out of Maritime, SUNY Maritime. He played there, but a little too eager before that snap, and it'll be first down and 5. That one moves it out to the 25-yard line.
And just a little bit about Jonathan Carberry, a 6 foot 230, as you mentioned, out of Maritime, has not seen the field a whole lot this year due to a variety of reasons. But it's good to see Carberry, in my opinion, one of the strongest guys physically on this fire department team, despite the penalty there.
All right, Adels is looking over to the sideline. They're calling an audible here on 1st and 5. We'll see what they can get going here offensively. And he does take the snap. He looks over to his right, and he does get it out to Cam Palmer. That's complete right at the stick. We'll see where they spot that. Could be their first down of the day. No, just short. So it'll be 2nd and 1 for the Boldest. Department of Corrections, a bunch of different organizations playing for this Department of Corrections team. We mentioned obviously the NYC Department of Corrections. We have Starrett City Public Safety Nassau County Corrections, gentleman from the Philadelphia Police Department playing on this team, some EMT workers as well, city EMT workers. So I think you see that often with these teams in the National Public Safety Football League. FDNY is almost entirely FDNY, but a lot of the other teams have a little bit of a mixture of players from different municipal communities.
And with that Philadelphia team disbanding, it's given an opportunity for a couple of these Philly guys to come up and play for the Boldest.
Gang tackle there. Screen pass from Adels. He gets it out to, you see it right here. He gets the screen pass out there. Oh, they ran a hook and ladder. How do the other teams run a hook and ladder? Isn't that fire department exclusive copyright on a hook and ladder play?
That's right.
They tried it and went nowhere.
But initially, it was Anthony Phipps, who I was getting on a little bit earlier in the first quarter, with great anticipation on that play for the Bravest. Phipps had his hands full last week with one of the best receivers in the league for the Chicago Enforcers.
Has a 7-yard loss on the play, and now Adels on 3rd and long. That ball deflected, nearly picked off by number 8, Timothy Dollison. He's not able to come up with it, but bad snap, bad everything on this play, John.
And you mentioned Dollison. This secondary is like a brand new bunch of guys in this game against the Boldest. We mentioned they were exposed a little bit 2 weeks ago in Nashville, and they have given the Boldest receivers nowhere to go at all tonight.
You mentioned Christian Millara. He's there on the deflection. He causes the deflection. Dollison diving in at the last second to try to make the interception. Unable to come up with it, but man, on a 2nd and 1, they get dropped for a 7-yard loss on the hook and ladder play, and now it is punting situation again. Number 36, we called his name a bunch tonight, Andrew Fusco. He gets off a wobbly punt, but a bounce again. Ortega's not able to pick this one up, and the good roll gets it all the way down inside the 35. Going to rest at the 34-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, FDNY. We'll get to our partners' messages and be right back after this.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
And we are back here at Aviator Sports Complex. It is a 9-0 lead. Department of Corrections has got 0 going on offense and punted back to the Bravest yet again. Good kick on that one, 36-yard line, 1st and 10. You've got number 2, Evan Flowers, in motion. He settles in the backfield and gets a handoff from Heedles, and they force him way outside, drop for a huge loss. Flowers probably should have gone down on that one, but they swallowed it up, John. That is going to be a loss of 9 yards on the play.
And look at Lazaire here. Wasn't fooled at all. Stayed with his guy, popped him up, and the tackle finished by number 20, Wayne Harris, out of the Department of Corrections. So good anticipation there by the Boldest, and that's going to be a loss of downs, Mike.
Yeah,
a loss of yards.
Just under 12 minutes to go in the second quarter here in this 9-0 contest. Beautiful night here in Brooklyn.
I was hearing all sorts of crazy stuff. Lightning, thunder, tornadoes.
Don't hold your breath, buddy. So we may be looking at it. We may be staring it in the face in a couple of hours. But here is Heedles. He rolls out to his left. The right-handed quarterback rolling out to his left. I see them doing that a lot, and I don't know that he's the most comfortable doing that. He throws that one behind Ortega. What do you see here, John?
And Ortega gets wide open underneath in the flat. And off the front foot. Now Ortega maybe a little lackadaisical on that.
I just think the quarterback's rolling out to their left to throw, the right-handed quarterback rolling out to his left. Kind of a tough play.
Who is the best in the business, in your opinion, to ever do that at the NFL level?
To rolling out, on the run?
On the run, the wrong way off the wrong throwing arm.
Tough to pick the number one. Aaron Rodgers known really for being
Brett
great,
Favre.
but I would actually say John Elway if I had to guess.
Okay, all right.
Elway, just a ridiculously strong-armed quarterback, but Favre in the conversation for that as well. Let's see what Heedles is in the conversation for a first down. He tucks and runs here across the 35, just back to the line of scrimmage, and that is going to be fourth down. Punting situation yet again. The huge loss. A little scuffle, little trash talk. Never hurt anybody in a NPSFL matchup, but they break it up. Put it back to their sidelines.
Very active, Frank Nacarado, the 6'2", 240-pounder. He has been making his presence felt here on the O-line and not backing down from the Boldest. A little skirmish after the whistle.
Heedles
and the longest run of the day for Heedles.
Yeah, he did his best there to try to pick up a first down, but Savion Adams with the tackle there corrals him. It's 4th and 9 from their own 35-yard line.
It gives Cole a little more room.
Yeah, Cole, exactly right. Cole will be back. He's going to be punting in the direction of number 23 back there. That is Jason Wint.
We haven't mentioned much of Jason Wint tonight, Mike. A lot of hoopla surrounding the two-way player for the Boldest.
So On Your Six Bourbon Whiskey is inspired by everyday heroes like nurses, police officers, teachers, and firefighters who make this country so loved and respected. We keep the military tradition of grabbing a drink to celebrate someone who's got your six. Visit onyoursix.com today to purchase your first bottle. We're going to head to a break right now and come back right after this.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
And welcome back to Aviator Field, everybody. John Heffernan alongside Mike Blewett. It is 9-0. The fire department here in the second quarter with 10:14 remaining. It's an honor to be here. We've got an extended officials timeout on the field. And we're going to take advantage of that by telling you a little bit about Tunnel to Towers. Since 9/11, we've been helping American heroes by providing mortgage-free homes to Gold Star and fallen first responder families. We're also committed to eradicating veteran homelessness and helping America to never forget September 11th 2001. Be sure to visit t2t.org for more information or to make your donation today. Mike, how'd I do?
Tremendous. Better than me, buddy. So, like John said, official timeout right now. Here we go. Here we go, John. We'll get a little FaceTime here with the crowd. Thanks to everybody for watching and listening to the NPSFL network. We really love bringing these broadcasts to you. This is going to be one we got a couple more broadcasts to go on the NPSFL network. The next one will be the Fun City Bowl. That's FDNY Bravest versus NYPD Finest. I called the NYPD Finest last week while this guy was attending a wedding for your son. Congratulations to him.
Well, Mike blew it. It was one of the highlights of my life. Cotter, Lucy, well done.
Amazing.
Great job by my boy. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So Fun City Bowl, that is FDNY Bravest, NYPD Finest. Please tune in 6 p.m. That's live from Mitchell Field in Uniondale, Long Island. That'll be 6 p.m., that Fun City Bowl, and could mean a lot in the standings and who ultimately plays for a championship. We will also be airing the championship. That one is June 21st. So the Fun City Bowl, Saturday night, May 31st, 6 p.m. live from Mitchell Field. We'll go right back to live action right here, where Boldest is going to have a 1st and 10 from their own 32. And that is not Addles behind center. That is back to Cam Palmer under center. And he tucks and runs, tries to get outside, and nowhere to go, John.
Look at the speed and the pursuit from number 55, Justin Hassan. Boom! Hassan in on the tackle along with number 14, Michael Hart. The linebacker, 6'2", 215 out of FDNY EMS.
Good job by Hart staying home on that one. Palmer obviously has speed. They're trying to mix it up because they haven't been able to get anything done on offense so far. And here's Palmer, will remain in shotgun formation. He throws it out wide, incomplete. That pass intended for number 20 for the Boldest. That is Wayne Harris. Another player playing both ways for Boldest. That one incomplete.
Wayne Harris out of the flat. Palmer rushing that throw just a little bit, but a big switch, Mike. Addles out, Cam Palmer in.
I just think the real issue here for them is not necessarily QB play. They can't protect the QBs so far. They've resulted in a safety. They have the QBs running just trying to avoid the rush so far, John.
Well, the offensive coordinator in his first season, Matt Genatino, also the Stepinac High School offensive coordinator, switching things up along with first-year head coach Eddie Romano. Defensive coordinator Joey Bonilla rounds out the coaching staff for the Boldest.
All right, there you go. Palmer, another quick hitter. That's to number 7, Darren Wesley, who breaks a couple of tackles. They might get a flag at the end of that one. He gets it right up to the first down marker. And we have a horse collar. He pulled his jersey from behind there. I'm surprised we're not seeing that call. They don't call it, and they are going to have to measure here. I feel like they're going to come up just short, but we'll see what the officials are going to do on this one.
And it's Hassan again. Might have gotten away with the little horse collar, as you mentioned, but forces out number 7, Darren Wesley.
I think in the first down. All right, so there's their first down, I think, of the night, maybe their second one.
Well, it was crazy to see Wesley with a little bit of running room, Mike. Yeah. We haven't seen much of that at all.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, I think that might be the first down of the game.
All right, so they're going to keep Palmer in for now. We got number 7, Wesley, and number 9, Minot, out to his left. A couple of guys out to his right. One back standing next to him. And we've got the Bravest showing a pressure look, and they swallow up the back on the play. That, again, was number 20, and that is Wayne Harris. Wayne Harris maybe picks up a yard on the play, but swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Michael Hart once again just kind of clogging one of those holes. Such a smart, high football IQ from the linebacker. Defensive standout for the fire department here tonight at Aviator Field. Fire department looking to rebound from a tough loss 2 weeks ago. And they must win out in order to get a shot at the national championship, Mike.
Absolutely. So this is effectively an elimination game too, John. So if one of these teams, whoever loses tonight, will not be in the running for the national championship. Here's Palmer. He gets out to his, wow, big time hit. He gets out to his left, and Palmer met right where he is dropped there. I believe that was number 23.
That was number 22 for the Bravest. I think it was Moody.
Okay.
And watch Palmer. He's such a wily veteran. He lowers the shoulder. He sees Moody coming in right here and just kind of gets that center of gravity, and Moody running into a brick wall.
Yeah.
In Palmer. And, you know, Palmer does something better than Adles, in my opinion, his ability to step up in the pocket. We saw it there, creating something out of nothing. And you can't take your eyes off of number one. Is it me, Mike, or does he just have a real presence out there?
Absolutely. Big-time athlete. Moody out of Curtis High School, not too far from here. He takes the brunt of the hit, but does make the play. And here's Palmer back to pass. He's going downfield. He overthrows it right in the middle of three FDNY defenders. Dollison was closest to it, tried to get his hands underneath it for the interception, but not able to do so. But that will result in a 4th down, and back out is our favorite guy of the night, Andrew Fusco, out to punt again. Dollison obviously just missed it.
Palmer also had plenty of time to throw the football. Great protection by the offensive line, but it results in an incompletion.
Ortega really challenging Fusco to kick one over his head. He's only about 25 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Let's see what kind of pressure Fire brings here.
Oh, they go for the fake. That's a pitch to number 4, and that is Briggins. Briggins breaks it. Briggins going to the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown. On the fake punt, he runs it up the middle, and FDNY did not see that one coming. And Briggins going to take it all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. We'll take another look at this one.
We talked about the importance of special teams, and our first little razzle-dazzle from the Boldest works to perfection. A huge hole for Briggins. He's got nothing but daylight. And the Boldest are on the board. We got a ball game.
Briggins 57. Officially, it'll be, I guess it's a forward pass on that one since Fusco pitched it forward. If we could see that one again, guys, I just want to, after the extra point, maybe take another look at it. But Fusco pitches it forward. It will officially go in the books as a 57-yard touchdown pass for Fusco. And it looks like Boldest are going to call a timeout as they figure out what they do during the break. We'll head to the messages right now and come right back after this.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise. I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know, and we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Okay, here we are. They have decided to kick the extra point here. It'll be Fusco kicking the extra point. After that, we'll take another look at the touchdown. A shocking play by Department of Corrections. Fusco with the extra point. It is up and good. That makes it 9-7. Got a 2-point game. Now let's take another look at this replay. Like I said, it'll officially go in the books as you see Fusco with the pitch to Briggins. And the linemen were in pursuit, but honestly, I think the mid-level of the FDNY Bravest defense just didn't see what was happening there, John.
And also a really big block. If we could take a look at it one more time, If you look at number 11 for the Boldest, that was the key right there as Danelle Lazar
and number 13, Jamal Urey with another block as well, sealing a huge run for Briggins.
And Briggins' eyes were like the size of saucers when he saw that amount of daylight ahead of him.
It's a huge, huge play there for Corrections. Get nothing going on offense. They get their first down, and then it looks like they're about to punt it again, and they decide to take a shot. I applaud them. It's an aggressive play call, but something that they needed. They needed a spark, and they may have gotten it.
Well, 2 weeks ago in Nashville, it was Francis Cole on the fake punt on 4th and 20, running for a first down for the fire department. And this week, to perfection, the Boldest. And it equates into the first touchdown of the ball game for the New York City Department of Corrections. And the score now, Mike, 9-7. We got a barn burner here with 6:39 remaining until the half.
All right, here's the kick. That is picked up by number 3, Wheeler, and he takes it out to the 35-yard line. At the Gary Sinise Foundation, we serve our nation by honoring our defenders, veterans, first responders, their families, and those in need. We do this by creating and supporting unique programs designed to entertain, educate, inspire, strengthen, and build communities. Visit GarySiniseFoundation.org to learn more and how you can contribute to our mission. How was that?
That was excellent. And, you know, coming up at halftime, we're going to be honoring 5 fallen Fire Department of New York Bravest, and we look forward to giving the recognition where it is certainly due. And just want to encourage all of you to stay tuned during the half for a very special presentation.
Yeah, it was filmed before the game kicked off, so we will show it in its entirety during halftime. All right, here it is. Heedles back to pass, low snap. He tries to hold off the defender with a stiff arm. He's unable to do so. He's dropped for a loss. Big-time play there by number 20 for the Boldest. That is Wayne Harris, who's played both sides of the ball today, and Heedles could not hold him off.
Well, we're used to seeing Harris running the football. Here he staves off the nasty stiff arm from Heedles, keeps with it.
Dropped for a huge loss there.
Big-time loss for the fire department, and that's going to bring up
2nd and 23 or so.
So, Mike, what do you do here? You don't want to risk too much, but fire department way, way back in their own end. They're going to have to create some magic.
Yeah, all right, we've got Wheeler in motion here, and Heedles back to pass. He's got some protection. He does hit Wheeler, who's corralled right after he catches it by number 15. That's Stephen Murphy on the play, a member of NYPD on the tackle.
Excellent coverage by Murphy. Got a handful of jersey. A little do-si-do on the tackle here by Murph.
All right. From their own 23-yard line, they have to get it all the way out to the 46. So 23 yards to go on 3rd down for FDNY Bravest.
And their defensive line doing a better job overall for the Boldest.
Agreed.
Here in the second quarter.
Agreed. FDNY Bravest offense stalled here after the Ortega touchdown.
Twins to the right.
There's Heedles back to pass, and he gets it out, but over the head of Eric Ortega. It'll be 4th down, have to punt at 4th and 23, John.
And Heedles did not have a lot of options. Not a lot of room. Excellent job by the secondary overall for the Boldest. Heedles on a big play right there. Unable to punch it through for the first down.
If you're serious about winning some money, stop what you're doing and head to takingvegas.com. Their free play record this year is 22-12, and right now they're offering 7 free days of their top play service for an NPSFL network audience. Winning is great, but Taking Vegas is legendary. Visit takingvegas.com to start winning today. Here's Cole on the punt. He gets it off. That is a huge kick, and it is dropped by number 23 by the Boldest. who tries to corral it and make something happen. Again, number 23 is Jason Wint. We've seen him try to make something happen with a couple of these punts. Nothing going there, though. He bobbles it, and then they gang tackle him, and he's dropped for a loss after the bobbled snap, the bobbled punt.
Great coverage by number 22, the captain, John Moody, 6'1", 185 out of Curtis High School. The veteran, Moody, did remarkable work on the coverage. And
all right,
the Boldest will take over, Mike.
Let's see what we got here. It is 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line, and we're going to stay with Cam Palmer. So Lamont Addles not able to get anything done. He's been replaced by Palmer for now. But
and
again,
we questioned that change a little bit, but with a guy like Cam Palmer, even though he wasn't directly involved in that fake punt, just his presence into the ball game, I think, has revitalized the Boldest.
Bobbled the snap there, the shotgun snap there. Palmer not able to make anything happen with the errant snap. I don't know. We have to let's see. There.
Look at Justin Hassan also with the pressure. In addition to number 53, Holmes.
Carlos Holmes, yeah. So big play there for FDNY, dropping corrections for a loss. Loss of 4 on the play.
Holmes 6 feet, 225. And he's fast.
All right, let's see if Boldest can make something happen here. They're going 4 wide. We talked with Matt, their offensive coordinator, John, before the game. He said they run a spread. They look for some run-pass option. Here we go. Snap over his head. Palmer is trying to corral it all the way down at his 1-yard line. He does get it. FDNY tried to jump on it. That would have been a 1st and goal from the 1. They are not able to get it, but it's going to lead to 2nd and forever.
And look at Godfrey Taylor here, the defensive end, number 45, busts through. He had great awareness to know the ball was way over the head of Palmer. He goes up instead of down. I'd say dive down low, big fella. Go for that fumble.
He was primarily responsible for the safety earlier, and here we are going to a quick break. It's a timeout here for the Boldest. We'll head to a break and come back right after this.
Hey Frank, how you doing? Andy Pettitte is one of America's greatest pitchers that has played for the New York Yankees. He has never forgotten what happened on September 11th.
The grief I know that you and your family had to go through, but what you've turned that tragedy into really a triumph.
What we do for catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star families, giving them mortgage-free homes.
The 100-home village that y'all are going to build down in Tampa, it's just amazing.
They go protect us overseas. They give their lives. We better take care of their families that are left behind.
I just kept seeing those commercials over and over, and it gets to you, right? I mean, if you're an American, I really just felt, in my heart, just like, man, this is something I wanted to find out more about and look into, and then, of course, just be involved. The Bible tells us that when we restore others, that ourselves will be restored.
Join me in supporting our nation's heroes and their families. It only takes $11 a month.
Go to T2T.org.
All right, we are back here at Aviator Sports Complex in Brooklyn. 9-7 football game. 2 minutes, 56 seconds left in the first half. And corrections backed up as badly as you can get backed up. It's 3rd down, and they're at their own 1-yard line. They need to get to the 36-yard line. So it is 3rd and 35, and he is going to go with a pooch punt here just to get it out of his own end zone. And on 3rd down, they elect to punt, and it goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line. I got to be honest, I understand being conservative. I hate that call.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that at this close a game. I mean, granted, there's 2:50 left to go before the half, but what's the mindset there, Mike?
I think they're just trying to avoid disaster and another safety.
But robbing Peter to pay Paul, as far as I'm concerned.
Just run it up the middle. Just run it up the middle for 3 yards. you're going to have to punt it anyway and utilize your actual punter to do it.
But
So
credit the defense for the fire department once
No
again
doubt about
coming up big. And one other thing about Godfrey Taylor, the defensive end, he said his performance against Chicago was lackluster. He's been on a mission today, but now it's the fire department offense we're going to get a close look at with plenty of time to go.
He's responsible for the 2 biggest plays on defense today for the Bravest. Let's see what Heedles can do here. As he goes to shotgun, they give the ball to Trey Wilson. He's off the left side, across the 35, down to the 30-yard line. And I think officially spotted at the, it'll be at the 30-yard line. That'll make it 2nd down and 3.
And the former Ohio State Buckeye defensively for the Boldest goes mano-a-mano with Wilson. Boom! There he is, Wint, who had the biggest pass and catch in the Boldest history against Chicago, showing what he can do on defense.
All right, so here we go. We're approaching the 2-minute warning. Heedles, he's going to pass here and picked off. Wow. So that was intended for Waterman, who was not even looking, and he throws it right to the opposing player. Clearly not on the same page. Waterman not looking. Here it is again, John.
It's number 22 who comes up with the interception, Curley, and the 2nd turnover of the ball game. Both interceptions, both on the hands of the starting quarterback for the first time this season, Tommy Heedles. But
so Clarence Curley, as you said, comes up with the interception, but Heedles effectively threw it right to him. Heedles and Waterman just not on the same page there. It's not even so bad of a throw as it is. They just clearly were not communicating on the same.
Well, I talked to Heedles before the game. He said, obviously his go-to comfort levels with Eric Ortega and, of course, Evan Flowers. Waterman, the target there, and it wasn't even close, Mike.
All right, so maybe the strategy worked all along for the Boldest. They make a play on defense, and they're going to take the ball over at their own 29-yard line. Here's Palmer back to pass. He goes down off the face mask, intended for number 4, I believe. That's Travis Briggins. No, sorry, number 14, Aaron Augustus.
He's got to catch that football. I mean, granted, he zinged it in there pretty quick. Let's take a look at it one more time. Again, Palmer with time. Looks to his left, to his first option. It's not there.
As my old football coaches used to say, if it hits you in the hands, you have to catch it. If it hits you in the face, that's a different issue altogether.
Doink!
So
right off the grill for the incompletion.
Maybe some glare. Maybe I'm trying to look. He's just not ready.
And there's the new offensive coordinator right there for the Boldest. The kid out of Stepinac, one of the bright minds. That's Matt Genatino, who coached at the high school level at a private school in Connecticut, was recruited down to Stepinac. They've put together a couple of championship runs on the gridiron. Also a championship, state championship for basketball. Shout out Pat Massaroni.
Powerhouse.
Pat Massarella. Massarella.
Powerhouse athletic.
Absolutely.
Athletic department there at Stepinac. All right, here's Palmer back to pass, and he goes way downfield, intended for Augustus again, falls incomplete. In coverage, number 44, Zerbo, along with number 8, Timothy Dollison, but that one falls incomplete to Augustus. Pretty good throw, and pretty good idea there. He finally had some time.
A lot closer than it looks. Look at how much ground Zerbo covers here. He gets all the way back. Bit of a mismatch there with Zerbo. And number 14 for the Boldest, Aaron Augustus. We talked about the big play capability, especially now with Cam Palmer under center for the Boldest, and nearly saw the connection there.
That's the best snap and most time he's had since he's been under center. So maybe we'll see a repeat there. They take the big shot there, but it'll lead to a 3rd and 10 for the Boldest. All right, we're going 4 wide here. As we talked about Matt Genatino. We talked to him before the matchup. They said they were going to do a lot of the spread formation, and there you go. Palmer, he's got somebody deep. That's going to be a pass interference on Zerbo. He runs into the receiver. I think that's Jamal Uri.
That was number 23 for the Boldest. It's Wint. And virtually we see the same exact route, just a different player. And Mike, you called it. Zerbo had no other choice there, as he had been beaten on the play by Wint.
Yeah, so the ball is slightly underthrown. Wint coming back for it. Zerbo in coverage. He's trying to make up as much ground as he can, and he runs into the receiver. There you can see Palmer back to pass. John, what do you got?
Palmer once again, plenty of time. That O-line doing a great job. Wint, as you mentioned, comes back, and Zerbo puts his hands up.
You know, if that pass is on the mark, that's a touchdown. And Zerbo and Dollison both beat on that play. So
a huge penalty goes against the fire department.
First down now. So they don't. It's not a spot foul. They just give them college rules. They just give them the yardage. They don't give them the full yardage. So it does still result in an automatic first down. And there's Palmer wrapped up on first down. Dropped just behind the line of scrimmage. A couple of guys in on the play, and he's dropped at his own 43-yard line.
And Justin Hassan, the linebacker.
Call his name a lot, John.
One of those defenders who just absolutely has gotten his nose dirty all game long. Look at the job there against number 77 before he made that tackle, taking on Steve Boomhauer, who's a lot bigger than Justin Hassan, but just a beautiful job of standing Boomhauer up, shifting him to his right, and then making the tackle. Really like watching number 55 play for the fire department.
Hassan with collegiate experience. He played at University of Albany along with Trey Wilson. Both of them played at Albany. And here it is, Palmer back to pass. Incomplete, intended for Wint. Falls just incomplete.
Speaking of Albany, Mike, if you don't mind me interjecting, my Siena Saints, my alum, in the play-in game, NCAA lacrosse, losing to UAlbany, my heart was broken. I was a long pole defenseman for the Saints. My last year there, do I dare tell you? Let's just say it's in the 90s. That doesn't make me too old, right?
Oh, you're okay.
So good year winning the MAC championship, the Siena Saints this year. Shout out Siena Lacrosse.
I got a couple of little lacrosse players in my house, so I'm a big fan of the sport as well. A lot of action in New York State, New York City tonight. This is just one of many big-time matchups. And that one incomplete. Great play there defensively by Khalifa Forbes. He knocks away the pass on a big third down play there. And Palmer upset with somebody on his offense, but man, Godfrey Taylor is constantly pressuring Palmer. I think that's what he was discussing. He's getting a little upset that number 45 is in his face the entire game.
Vintage Khalifa Forbes there, the South Carolina State alum, covered a lot of ground and coming back to the football to knock it away. Beautiful job by number 7. Mike, you mentioned it. I don't know if we're going to go to break.
Got a timeout here. Why don't we talk about that right when we come back?
Okay.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
Okay, here we go. See Andrew Fusco back to punt, and he is going to punt this time, and it bounds out of bounds. Oh, it stays in bounds, and Ortega picks it up at his own 20. He spins across his 30-yard line, so Fusco's aiming out of bounds, but the ball stays in and bounds another 10 yards down the field. Ortega picks it up and runs it back, basically those 10 yards. So with under 30 seconds left in the half, Bravest is going to take the field on offense, their own 32-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. 15 seconds left, just a couple of plays here. But, John, you wanted to say something about what we have coming up at halftime.
Oh, yeah, we've got a really special pre-taped presentation, part of the Memorial Game today, as we typically honor very well-deserving recipients. In this case, we have 5 former firefighters from the fire department of New York City who have all passed away, sadly, Mike, really within 1 year of each other. And we will, a lot of them from Ladder 147. And we'll talk a little bit more about that at halftime after the presentation and give you some side stories there.
So FDNY elects to take a knee there to run out the half. So at halftime, live from the Aviator Sports Complex, it's 9-7. FDNY Bravest hold the lead over the NYC Boldest. We'll be back with more second half action after this.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
Back at Aviator Sports Complex, live from Brooklyn, New York, FDNY Bravest hold the lead 9-7 over the NYCD Boldest. That's the firefighters versus the Department of Corrections. This NPSFL network action, excited to bring it to you here. John and I, Mike Blewett, along with John Heffernan, will be with you for the rest of this broadcast. And then the Fun City Bowl, which will occur Saturday, May 31st. That'll be at Mitchell Field in Uniondale, Long Island, where FDNY Bravest, this very team, takes on the NYPD Finest, a team I had a chance to see in action last week, where they ran over the Tri-State Shields. That was 35-0. NYPD Finest, a very powerful team, and will be certainly in the mix for the championship. But what we wanted to do is present you with a recording of the pregame ceremony honoring 5 fallen firefighters, John.
Yeah, and the friends and family were all here as well. Unfortunately, tragically, these 5 firefighters, who all have connections to the Fire Department of New York football team, have tragically passed away within the same year. So we're going to throw it there in just a second. But first, shout out to Charlie Rojas, George Kirk, Tommy Gavitt, Patrick Ward, and Jimmy Cooney, who were honored at halftime. Let's take a look.
for your attention. At this time, we pause to honor several past members of the FDNY and the Bravest football team who are no longer with us. These men dedicated their lives to serving the people of New York City, and they were also proud teammates representing the department on this field with toughness and pride. The Bravest football team has always stood for more than just football. It's about brotherhood, sacrifice, and continuing a legacy that started in 1973 with the first fun football. The men we recognize today helped build this tradition. They gave everything on the job and to this team. And we remember them not just for how they played, but for how they lived. They'll always be a part of this team, always a part of this department, and always remembered. We also want to thank the families and fire companies who are here tonight. Your strength, support, and your presence mean a lot to us. In a moment, we'll invite each family to the field to present them a plaque, a helmet, and flowers in memory of their loved ones. Please join us in showing our respect and appreciation. As a reminder, tonight's game offering will be donating to engine 254, ladder 153, to support their mission as ALS Watchdog. Donated in loving memory of Nick Hansen, who passed away on Tuesday. Please join us for a moment of silence for Nick. Thank you. The Bravest football team, firstly, would like to recognize firefighter George Kirk, who served from 1973 to 1994 in ladder 147.
Take it hot. Hold on a sec. Move back a little. You're not on right now, Jeff. Move back a little, Jeff. Make sure they won't come. You got your D extender on, that's why.
Let's get one more round of applause for the Kirk family. Next, the Bravest football team would like to recognize firefighter Tommy Gavitt, who served from 1981 to 2005 in ladder 147. Let's have another round of applause for the Bravest family. Next, the Bravest football team would like to recognize Lieutenant Patrick Ward, who served from 1973 to 2002 in engines 218 and 309 as a firefighter, and in engine 281 as a lieutenant. Let's get another round of applause to the Ward family. the Bravest football team would like to recognize Lieutenant Jimmy Cooney, who served from 1977 to 2002 in Engine 281 and Ladder 154 as a firefighter and in Engine 254 as a lieutenant. Let's get another round of applause for the Cooney family. And finally, the Bravest football team is honored to recognize firefighter Charlie Rojas, who served from 1973 to 1994 in Ladder 147. Let's have another round of applause for the Rojas family. The Bravest football team would like to send a special thank you to the families of our honorees for being with us tonight, as well as their fire companies who are in attendance to support them as well. Enjoy the game and let's go Fire!
We're here today right outside Colorado Springs to welcome home DT and his family here in the beautiful smart home that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has just completed.
I got hurt December 2005 in Afghanistan, and that day we're out on a mission and I got hit by an IED while I was in my truck. Today we're in my home that Tunnel to Towers built for me. A smart home is someone that's disabled like myself, kind of makes their lives a little easier. The thought that I don't have to worry about paying a mortgage.
We're asking all Americans to donate $11 a month. This is where your money's going, and this is what we're doing with it.
You know, some of us came back, some of us didn't, and thank God for organizations like Tunnel Towers to be able to be there to help us when we need it.
New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute is a medical center for firefighters, designed by firefighters. As a leading provider of advanced medical screenings, we take pride in offering the best healthcare experience for firefighters and first responders. Since 2002, the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute has been dedicated to screening, diagnosing, and treating first responders and their families each and every day. We provide a broad range of testing and medical care, including cardiac and pulmonary testing, as well as educational seminars focused on firefighter safety throughout the USA and Canada. We are proud to have recently entered into a partnership with the Uniformed Firefighters Association to encourage all firefighters to come in and get tested. New York State awarded a grant to the UFA for testing and cancer screening, and they have partnered with the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute to provide certain services at no cost to the individual. Check out FDNYheart.com or call 516-441-7614 to schedule an individual or group firehouse visit today.
For over 2 decades, Rigging NYC Contractors, Inc. has been the go-to provider of rigging services in New York City. Specializing in construction and industrial rigging, as well as machinery moving, we are dedicated to delivering safe and timely solutions. Our team consists of licensed master riggers, operating engineers, Teamster drivers, steam fitters, and iron workers. No matter the industrial or construction application, we have the lifting solution for you. In addition to rigging services, we offer specialized trucking services to handle equipment and materials. Our fleet of tractor trailers and experienced drivers make us the premier choice for New York trucking, including oversized freight and heavy loads. When it comes to rigging, trust the experts. the licensed master riggers at Rigging NYC Contractors. Contact us today for more information and let us make your next project a resounding success.
And welcome back here to Aviator Field in Brooklyn, New York. At the half, we've got one heck of a ball game. The Fire Department of New York 9 and 7 points for the Boldest. It's going to be a terrific second half. We certainly have a ball game on our hands here today in a very important, crucial part of the season. I also wanted to talk a little bit about that halftime presentation honoring 5 fallen Fire Department of New York firefighters. And a great job, by the way, by Kenny DeForest and Sal Ferrioli, the PA announcers today. From Ladder 147, Kevin Whalen, the equipment manager of the Fire Department of New York, spoke glowingly about Charlie Rojas, who in 1974 transferred to Ladder 147. He was about 86 years old. George Kirk, Jimmy Clooney as well, who's got sons Jimmy Jr. and Michael on the job right now, also from Ladder 147. Jimmy became a lieutenant. Ladder 254, died of 9/11 related injuries. Jimmy Cooney as well, succumbing to a 9/11 related disease. Tommy Gavitt from Ladder 147 as well was a firefighter with 147. Pat Ward Sr. from 218 engine, a lieutenant as well, moved on to 281. He's got sons Brian and Patrick that are both on the job today. So our thoughts and prayers go out to all of their families who are here in full force prior to the start of the game, and we covered for you that on tape in the first during halftime. John Heffernan alongside Mike Blewett. I'd be remiss not to mention 2 other very, very important people that we've lost here in the last, I guess it's 4 or 5 weeks now.
Yeah.
Mike Blewett, really admire your strength.
Appreciate it.
Both Marge, your mom, and your father, Mike, passed away very close to one another. And I know it's been, you've been a rock for your family, and I know it's been a tough time. So I wanted to just acknowledge both of them here today.
Yeah, my parents were in their 80s, unfortunately failing health. They died within a week of one another, 60 years married. So look, it was very difficult for me and our family going through all of that. But as I tried to tell people as many times as possible, being married for 60 years, there's nothing tragic about that. It's a lot to take on at one time. But I appreciate you, the kind words, and everybody for honoring them. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm happy to enjoy this kind of opportunity with you and get back to the game.
Well,
thanks, buddy.
Listen, man, you've been such a great partner, and it's
Likewise.
A pleasure to work with you and to know that you've been so supportive of me with my son recently getting married, and I'll always be there for you as well.
I appreciate it. So here we are, second half action. No easy way to make that transition, but second half action, and it is kicked off to FDNY Bravest. That was, I think, Ortega on the return, and he gets it out to the 35-yard line. So there we go. John, right back into the action. We dealt with some heavy topics during halftime, but we do that to honor the people that make these huge sacrifices here for us every day in the city, on this field, and for their family and friends. So back to FDNY Bravest on offense. We'll see if Tommy Heedles can get something going here in the second half, John.
Yeah, 2 turnovers for Heedles in that first half, both interceptions. And, credit to Boldest. They haven't turned the football over yet. If I am correct, Mike, right? No turnovers from the Boldest?
Safety was,
technically will count.
I guess that's sort of a turnover, but you're right. They have not had the huge bugaboo of a fumble. They nearly fumbled it away into the end zone on that one possession.
Well, Heedles is going to have to be smart with the football here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He does hand off there. I believe that's a quick handoff to, is that Trey Wilson there? It's got to be.
Trey Wilson, we've seen a lot of runs from Wilson, especially on first down. No different here. And there's big number 75 for the Bravest on the O-line.
Frank Nacarado. All right, here we go. Heedles in the backfield, shotgun formation. Trey Wilson just behind him. 2nd and 8 from their own 37-yard line.
You got trips to the left.
Excuse me, their own 35-yard line, sorry. So there you go. There's the handoff to Trey Wilson. He's off the right side. We got a flag down in the area of what would be a hold. We'll see what the call is.
It's going to be a hold, and a pretty obvious one there. I think it's going to go against number 85, Adam Jensen. And we might get another opportunity to take a look at it. And there you see Jensen
lined up in the slot there as almost as a tight end, and he gets the call.
He gets a hold of number 15, Stephen Murphy. That didn't look like too much there, but needless to say, a penalty to start things off on the first drive for the fire department, and that's going to back them up.
Yeah, second and what looks like 17 here for the Bravest. Early third quarter. And there's Heedles on the shotgun snap, and he passes out to the right. He's got Ortega in the flat. Ortega cuts it back to the middle of the field, breaks a couple of tackles, and fights up to the 35-yard line. That'll get them past the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be a 3rd down and 7 here.
And, you know, Mike, Ortega could have just as easily taken that one out of bounds.
Yeah.
Watch the cutback here.
Not his style.
Boom. Tries to get a couple of more yards to keep the play going.
So we'll have a 3rd and 7 here for FDNY. Just under 13 minutes left in the third quarter. Early second half action with FDNY up 9-7 on NYC Boldest. That's the Department of Corrections. Corrections hasn't been able to do much on offense, but 7 points courtesy of a fake punt. And there's Heedles rolling out to his right. He is looking downfield, and he does. On the run, a nice throw there, and that one is complete to
Ortega.
Oh, there's a debate now as to whether or not Ortega caught that.
No, he got it. Watch Ortega fight for this ball. All over him was Donnell Lazar.
I think he got it, but that is close.
I think they're going to give it to him.
There's no review. I mean, we're not reviewing. You see Heedles out, rolling out to his right, and Ortega, as you said, fights back towards the line of scrimmage, and off balance he throws. I think Ortega has this one off the – I don't think that hit the turf.
No, they're going to give it to him. Oh, maybe not.
No. All right. So initial call is overruled, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th and long.
Another bad break, Mike, for the fire department of New York, and there were some fireworks at halftime. I heard a lot of yelling coming from the Boldest dressing room. They were all fired up in there, one guy in particular, speaking of the troops. And I know there were a couple of fire exchanges between the fire department and the coaching staff, but I got to tell you, I don't mind that. Some veteran guys stepping up and trying to get everyone going.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of times football is a highly competitive game, and I think people are going to air it out with one another no matter what. I think it's all sort of healthy stuff from football teams that are getting each other fired up at a halftime. What I would say is that I think part of why the emotions are running so high, sorry to cut you off, John, is that this really is an elimination game.
Well, absolutely, and you took the words right out of my mouth. Mike, let's be honest. The fire department of New York came crashing down to earth in Nashville, Tennessee. They were only able to muster 3 points. This is not the team that it was last year. 28 guys gone from last year's team. They put together an offensive line. They've mixed. They've matched. They've made a change. A new offensive coordinator in Vinny Sheeta. They're doing whatever they can do. And the one reason I bring it up is one of the best coached teams year in and year out is this very fire department of New York team. And they will find a way. The question is, can they do it here in the second half?
Let's see if they find a way on defense here. And that is back to number 5 behind center for Department of Corrections, and that is Lamont Addles. So they went Addles in the first quarter. They went to Cam Palmer in the second quarter. They're back to Addles here in the third quarter. We'll see if they can, as you said, muster any offense here as we're under 12 minutes to go in the third, and they try to do a quick out route here. Nothing doing. It'll be 2nd and 10 for DOC.
Zerbo in on the coverage for the fire department, and kind of a curious move. I know it's staying with the rotation for the Boldest, but I really believe Cam Palmer under center, based on what we've seen in this game, gives the Boldest the best chance to win. Lamont Adams,
there's Palmer in motion, and oh no, that is picked off by number 50, Justin Hassan, and he brings it inside the 5-yard line. That was, so he tried to fake a pass to Palmer. Adams tried to fake a pass to Palmer, a screen pass, and then pumps it back to go over the middle. You'll see it right here, John.
And it's Jason Carteron.
Oh, I said Hassan, you're right. It was Carteron.
Unbelievable. Look at the anticipation. He says, hello, thank you very much, Carteron.
So my bad. Hassan has been making plays all night, but Carteron with the biggest play of the game so far for FDNY, no doubt about it. And he was inserted into the starting lineup today. Previously was not in the starting lineup.
Absolutely, and he gets the turnover goal chain. The first interception of the ball game for the fire department. And they are knocking on the door early here in the third quarter.
So it'll be Heedles with Trey Wilson in the backfield. Their ball, they have 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. It's Wilson up the middle, tackled after a gain of 2. That'll make it 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, a little smash mouth football, running it right up the gut. Trey Wilson looking for daylight. He gets a couple. And that'll set up 2nd and goal, Mike. A huge turning point in this second half. The first turnover of the day by the Boldest.
They have to come out with 7 here, though, John.
Absolutely.
It's not a field goal situation.
No excuses.
All right, here we go. Same setup. We've got Heedles in the background with Trey Wilson. 2 out wide to his left, 1 out wide to his right. Jensen coming in motion across the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to run behind Jensen here. Nope, they go the other way, and it's Trey Wilson up the middle and dropped at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Now it's 3rd and goal, John.
And he's met head on by Timothy Barry Switzer. Look at this. Boom. A little Oklahoma shout out to Barry Switzer, but it's Tim Switzer, Department of Corrections linebacker, who read that beautifully and stood up Trey Wilson. And a huge down here, Mike. Like you said, you can't take just 3. There have been very few opportunities for either of these teams offensively. And if you're the fire department, you got to punch it in here.
All right, here we go. Trey Wilson moves there. That's going to be a false start. He might not have been the only one. I think there's a snap count issue there. I don't think Trey Wilson was the only one to move early, but it's absolutely a false start on the Bravest, and that's going to bump them back to 3rd and goal. Now it'll be back to the 8-yard line.
And despite this 2-point lead, I feel like every time the fire department takes 2 steps forward, they take 1 back. I mean, we talked about the beginning of that Chicago game, some key turnovers in that first half just when they were driving the ball. And collectively as a group, the fire department has been very vocal about saying we're very close. We are very close. But it's costly penalties like this that continue to have a big impact not only on this game but in this 2025 season for the 2-1 fire department.
All right, here we go. 3rd and goal. Pushing it out to the 8-yard line, maybe even the 9-yard line.
What do you like here, Mike? I think they're going to go to the air.
I don't love a fade route all that much, but I would try to be using somebody like Adam Jensen's size for a little bit of a jump ball in the corner of the end zone.
I'm going to look for
unless you get Ortega.
Yeah, he's going to be the I think the first option here for Heedles. Ortega to the right, number 4.
You got Flowers one-on-one to his left. There you got Jensen. They went for Jensen over the middle, and that one knocked away by number 4, Travis Briggins.
But a good call on your part, Mike. the big fella, Jensen, beautiful coverage. Ortega was locked down by the secondary, and the big target, Jensen, has that one smacked away right there by the Boldest.
Okay, it'll be 4th down and goal. It's a kicking situation here for Cole. Now, not ideal that they're getting a field goal. We think they had to punch it in there to really make corrections pay for that turnover. But Francis Cole, a very reliable kicker here, and I think you just take the 3 points, even if it's not what you wanted.
Got to take the points. We mentioned that 20-yard run on the fake punt by Cole against Chicago. We're not going to see any of that here.
No.
Fire department's got to take the points. They lead by 2, looking to extend it to 5.
25-yard attempt here for Cole. There's the snap. Kick is up. And good. All right, that makes 12-7. We'll head to a break here and return live with live action at Brooklyn after this.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
And we are back. Francis Cole set to kick off. FundTheFirst.com is the #1 trusted and free fundraising platform for those who serve their families and their friends. Fund the First is in the business of supporting first responders, military, and medical professionals. Visit FundTheFirst.com today to launch your fundraiser. All right, Francis Cole, field goal, makes it 12-7 Bravest over the Boldest. Boldest still have done very little on offense in this game, John. And here's Cole booming a kick, but it is fielded at the 5-yard line, that by number 7, Darren Wesley. And Wesley gets all the way across the field, and 17-yard return on the kick there. He gets it out to the 22-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Boldest. What do you expect here?
Very solid return by Wesley, just what the Boldest needed. They've got decent field position now. What is the NPSFL version of the cycle? We've got a safety, we got a field goal, we got a touchdown. FDNY, what do they need? A pick 6 to complete the MLB?
We're making this up on the spot, so I have to.
Well,
think.
I'm switching to other sports because I see the New York Knickerbockers.
How about those Knickerbockers?
A huge lead at Madison Square Garden tonight, Game 6.
I'm going to have to assume that we are a second screen experience for some of the viewers
that
are watching FDNY Bravest. So
the Jason Tatum-less Boston Celtics
currently 92-51 with just under 2 minutes to go in the third there for those Knicks.
Well, I worked at MSG for 11 years. I was getting requests for tickets tonight. I'm like, you guys
here we
are
go.
crazy.
Up the middle. We got a run here. Finally, number 27, Nicholas Threadgill, running back, picks up a big run there. Good for – did they get the first down? They give it to him? Yes, they do. That's 10 yards. And a first down, and they move the chains. That's the best, the most positive offensive play they've had in some time here.
John Moody, textbook tackle for the fire department.
And it's Cam Palmer back under center. He goes back to Threadgill there, who's dropped at the line of scrimmage. So a 10-yard run followed by absolutely nothing on that one. But, again, they switch quarterbacks. And
look at big number 95, Denzel Wilson. We talked a lot before the ball game. So much of his game is predicated on technique. And he said, our D-line goes as I go. He likes the
honestly, and in the games we've called, that's absolutely true, John. If Denzel Wilson's having a big game, the Bravest is in good shape. Stands 6'4", 300 pounds. He's got a linebacking core making plays. Jason Carteron, Zerbo, Hassan Wilson's really a force to be reckoned with in this league. And here's Palmer. He gets it out to Wint. First time we've seen him touch the ball on offense, and he's popped at the 37-yard line, short of the first down mark, and it'll be 4th down from their own 38-yard line, keeping the offense out there. They're not looking to punt. They're going to be aggressive here.
Look at Justin Hassan once again making his presence felt right at the end, but it was number 53 who
Sorry,
got
that was 2nd down. That's my fault, John. This will be 3rd down and 5 here.
It was Carlos Holmes followed by Hassan, but Carlos Holmes has been impressive tonight, Mike. 6 foot 225 linebacker for the fire department, and it's 3rd down.
All right, here's Palmer. He's looking way downfield in good coverage. On the play was Anthony Phipps, but that one over the outstretched arms of number
7.
I think that's 7, Darren Wesley. So incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, and I like how Anthony Phipps has responded here against the Boldest after, what he might say is one of his tougher games this year. Phipps in on the coverage along.
All right, so it is another punting situation. We see Fusco again out here with number 3. That's Rob Wheeler back to receive the kick. Ortega handled a lot of the kick receiving duties in the first half, but Wheeler out here to see if he can make a play.
And again, it looks like the Boldest trying to rely on that big pass play. So once again, the defense for the fire department passing a big test here on the first possession of the 3rd quarter.
All right, here's Fusco. He does get a kickoff. It's end over end, and Wheeler's going to pick it up off the bounce at the 30-yard line. He's across the 40. He is back across the field to the 50, catching a couple of blocks. He bounces it outside, and he is wrapped up at the 41-yard line of the Boldest. A good return. He picked it up on the 30, gets it all the way back to the other 41, so a 29-yard return by Rob Wheeler.
So the quarterback, now the kick returner, Rob Wheeler, styling, profiling, rumbling, stumbling on the biggest play of the game for Wheeler as he finally gets knocked out at around the 40. And great position here for the fire department. So you wonder if Rob Wheeler took that Heedle's insertion as a demotion or just, hey, we got to do what we got to do. Either way, he's showing what he can do, especially on that play.
What I think is really interesting about this league is we're not. It's not like we're playing 17 games. And here's, by the way, live action. You got Trey Wilson catches a screen pass, breaks a couple of tackles, makes a move, and he's already down near the red zone, 25-yard line. He gets pushed out of bounds. What I would say is really interesting about this league is watching the personnel matchups and watching different guys come in and play quarterback. They're only playing 4 to 5 games a year most seasons. You have a limited amount of time to practice, right? These guys have the most serious day jobs that you could possibly have. So I think you are really trying to find what can be most effective in the moment. It's hard to stick with somebody for the course of an entire season if you're not playing well in a half or in a game.
And they could have pulled Wheeler out after those 2 interceptions in the first half. They're sticking with him.
Here's Heedles on rolling out there.
I meant to say Heedles.
We're talking about Wheeler.
Yes.
Heedles, it's all right.
But I think that shows a lot of what Heedles brings as far as trust. We talked about that.
That's right.
Cam Peake and Vinny Sheeta sticking with him. And I have to say, Mike, this seems like a brand new fire department team here in the second half. Clearly they've made some adjustments at halftime, and they look more inspired, playing with maybe a little bit more of a sense of urgency.
Yeah, so it'll be 2nd and 10 after the big Trey Wilson screen pass and run. We are at just over the 5-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. and Heedles with Trey Wilson in the background. He's got 2 wide to his left, 2 wide to his right, and Heedles is looking to throw. He pump fakes, and now he's rolling out to his right, looking for somebody. He lofts it out of bounds, just trying to get rid of it so he doesn't get sacked. That was intended for, I think that's Marco Babi, but well out of bounds on the play.
You know, and Wint again in that secondary with the speed that he has. Wint one of the lockdown corners for the Boldest. We talked about his offensive abilities, but really what we've seen tonight from Wint for the Boldest is his ability to play the secondary and play it effectively, and he was in on the coverage there for the Boldest.
Clearly they're trying to do everything they can to get the ball into Wint's hands on offense too, so he's a tremendous athlete, but has not been able to flash too much. All right, here we are. Heedles on 3rd and 10. His heels on his own 30-yard line in shotgun formation, and he's got a bunch formation to his left, 2 wide to his right. And Heedles looking to pass. He's dead to rights. He's got a couple of guys pressuring him. Now he sidearms, and he's got it to Waterman. Complete, first down and more. Gerard Waterman with a big play there. They did not connect in the first half on that key interception, but here they do connect for a big first down for FDNY.
You talk about a big target. I'm pretty sure this is his first reception of the ball game, Mike.
Yeah.
Waterman, just beautiful. And it manages to stay on his feet, finally gets taken down. But Waterman really could be an X factor for this receiving core for the fire department. Such a big body, such a big target, and Heedles finds him there.
It'll be 1st and goal right inside the 10-yard line, so no ability to get a first down here. And they hand it off to Trey Wilson. He goes up the middle and moves the pile a few yards, gets down to the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 6-7-yard line.
And in on the tackle there for the Boldest, number 17, Switzer once again. But again, that second effort by Wilson shows that lower body strength and his ability to tag on a couple of more yards.
You know, it's credit to Heedles on that pass to Waterman, that big first down play. Stephen Murphy from the Boldest had him dead to rights, one-on-one, and Heedles avoided the tackle, avoided a sack, and got the ball off to Waterman for a huge play. We'll see if they can convert here. They stalled last time they got deep in Boldest territory, but on 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line, he's got Trey Wilson with him, and they hand it off again, but Wilson is met behind the line of scrimmage. He bounces off a couple of tacklers, and he's into the end zone. Big individual effort there from Trey Wilson. Touchdown, Bravest, and that pushes it to 18-7 with an extra point pending.
Vintage number 21, Trey Wilson. He has been certainly in the MVP conversation today and proves it. With this run here, he sheds 1, sheds 2 with the stiff arm, stays on his feet, and in the end zone for 6.
Number 43, Savion Adams, had him dead to right. Stephen Murphy looked like he had a shot at him. There's Tremaine Wilson. We spotlighted him before the game. There's a reason. His 3rd season with the FDNY Bravest, and a touchdown that may put this game over the top. Long way to go, but with the Boldest struggling as they are on offense, what may be a 12-point lead after this Francis Cole extra point might be a little bit too much. Here's Cole, and that is a false start.
And the expression that comes to mind when I think of Trey Wilson, he's not a man of many words, leads by example on the field, but workhorse has certainly been an adjective you could use.
I mean, at 5'10", 210, the man played at Albany. He's got collegiate playing experience. In this league, that does account for a good amount. And at 5'10", 210, he's not somebody that's easy to bring down. I mean, as you see on that play, 2-3 guys bouncing off of him and reaching for him and not able to get him down. He was met behind the line of scrimmage on that play and sort of made it a more than a 7-yard touchdown run. It'll officially go down as a 7-yard touchdown run, but he did a lot more running than that. All right, Cole gets backed up 5 yards, so this will be a 25-yard extra point Cole has it up and good.
And, you know, I liked how you highlighted the composure of Tommy Heedles and the play before the touchdown really, really says a lot. Unaffected, calm, cool, and collected. The veteran Heedles getting the start here today, and he has been terrific.
All right, we'll head to a break and come back with more NPSFL action.
Well, how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise. I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know. And we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, you know. I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
And we are back at Aviator Sports Complex, Brooklyn, New York, NPSFL action. I'm Mike Blute along with my color commentator, John Heffernan. We have honored a lot of people tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast. It's a really nice night out here in Brooklyn with FDNY taking a 19-7 lead, courtesy of a Tremaine Wilson touchdown. And Cole does not reach the landing spot on the dynamic kickoff.
What was
so that's
that
going to
about?
bring it out to the 40. I think he just mishit it. I think he was trying to boom it deep like he normally does, and he mishit it, and it does not reach the landing zone.
So a two-score game now, FDNY with a bit more cushion, Mike, with 3:27 to go in the third. They couldn't be in a better position than they are right now. I expect. What do you expect here?
I think they're going to play. I think they're going to play really conservatively in the backfield, but get these Denzel Wilson and the guys up front getting after it. I'd expect to see Justin Hassan and players like that coming in on blitzes and making it even more difficult for Cam Palmer or Adles, who's ever under center, to get anything going. They can pin their ears back now. Realistically, John, Boldest has done very little on offense. Their lone touchdown was a spark plug play from the punter to make something happen. But
And Cam Palmer back under center.
Ultimately, Briggins ran it in for the touchdown. All right, here is Palmer back to pass, and he's got Augustus over the middle, who makes the catch.
Looked like his left leg was.
Looked like he got banged up on the play.
He kind of came up lame after the reception.
He's okay. He's walking off the
all right.
field there, but he picks up 6 yards to start it off for the Boldest.
He looked a little shaken up. He is going to go off. But Palmer with plenty of time. And, you know, it is humid out there, Mike. And, you know, anytime this game continues to roll on, you know, fatigue definitely becomes a factor, all that stuff. But I think if I'm the Boldest coaching staff, I mean, you just got to put the ball in number one's hands and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, you know, they're down 12. They're not down by 4 touchdowns here, so they don't have to air it out, but they have to get a sustained drive going here. Here's Palmer. He gets it in the hands of number 7. That's Darren Wesley, but he's wrestled to the ground, and that pass is incomplete. So they break up the pass, and it'll be second down. And it's second down and 5.
And Michael Hart has been terrific defensively for the fire department. In on again, in on the tackle once again. Boom. Hart stepping up. We've called his name quite a bit here tonight.
Correction, third down. Looks to be more about 4 yards on this. So Let's see if Boldest can pick up a first down. I think it's 4-down territory for them. We're under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. They've done very little on offense. I think they're going to be aggressive here. So this doesn't have to be the most aggressive play. Here's Palmer back to pass. He pump fakes. He's out to his left. We got a flag down in the area of what would be a holding call. He's near the first down marker, but I think that one's coming all the way back. Number 53, Christopher Hirsch, looks like he may get called for something here. Let's see what we got on the call here.
Palmer off to the races. There's the flag.
Yeah, 53 Hirsch was down on the ground, I think grabbing at a jersey, and they're going to walk it off here. 10-yard penalty. FDNY will take that one. Be third down, and now they're going to walk it back. Let's see how much yardage they have to make up. Should be third and 15 after the walk-off.
Dare I say we'll see another third down punt from the Boldest? That was crazy.
I don't think you can afford to do
half.
the third down punt. You know, it's crazy. It ended up working out because FDNY turned it over. But I still am perplexed by that one.
Well, I'm still waiting for that Stevie Orr guarantee before the game. We will block a punt tonight. Those were the words, like Messier in '94.
Well, Fosco has really kind of adapted to the pressure, too. He's getting off sort of rugby-style kicks just to get him away quickly. I think the Boldest is probably fearful of that one going into the game as well.
Well, we still have third down to go. And this arguably one of the biggest plays for the Boldest here in the second half as time winding down in the third.
All right, here's Palmer, gets the snap back to pass. He looks across the middle. He's got Wint wide open, and it's off his hands. If Wint catches that, he's got a lot of daylight in front of him, John.
He had a lot of room, and Wint, it was one of those things, took his eye off and started running with the ball, but you got to catch it first, number 23. Just thrown a little bit behind him, and it's easy for us to say from up here, but
that's an easy first down if he catches it there.
But Wint needs to make that catch.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a perfect pass, but he got his hands on it, and if he comes down with that, that's good for 20 yards or more. He would have had the first down easily. On a 3rd and 14 play, they would have easily had the first down. So the play design was there. And here's Fusco out to punt again. I would not expect anything crafty like a fake punt at this point. And you've got Rob Wheeler back, standing on his own 32-yard line, ready to receive the kick.
I want to see Stevie bring the heat. Special teams coach for the
Okay,
FDNY.
Fusco catches it again. Rugby-style kick. That ball bounces straight up in the air.
Another
We've got a flag there. Whoa, and we got a fight here on the other side. A scuffle, I should say.
No whistle.
Touchdown? Okay. Sorry about that, folks. I lost track of what happened there live. But I'm pretty sure what happened is there's a flag down on the play. The ball, the punt, hits into one of the FDNY Bravest members. And then, since it's touched, it's a live ball. But that should be a muffed punt. That should not be returned for a touchdown.
Well, because of the
flag. If it's the Boldest ball, we have to sort out the flag first. But even if that's Boldest ball, that is not a fumble and a return. That is at
it should
at
be
least
a dead ball with the flag. Well, we're going to have to sort it all out.
All right, can we run it back earlier than that, Jamie? Seeing him run it in isn't giving us – I need to see what happens before that.
Let's run that back a little bit further. And there's the powwow between the officials.
We don't have it. Okay, so we'll see. We'll sort it out here with the officials. I would say in a normal situation, if that ball is touched by the Bravest, it cannot be returned for a touchdown. It would be a muffed punt, and the ball, if it's the Boldest ball, it should be down where number 15 that was on the play. That is Stephen Murphy.
But we never did hear a whistle. Never heard a whistle.
Shout out to the Pride Flatbush over there. Good turnout by those guys. Honoring the former members.
Yeah, okay. So that's what I was saying.
Holding is declined.
Correct. Correct. Holding on
Dead ball.
FDNY is declined, but since the Bravest touched the ball, it is a muffed punt, and Boldest will take it over where the ball is recovered.
Correct.
No touchdown.
Correct. No
cannot
touchdown.
you cannot return a muffed punt for a touchdown.
Well, I'm glad they got it right down on the field.
They did. They did. What I haven't seen yet though is who touched it.
Yeah.
Either way, did Wheeler touch it?
It went off the back of the leg of an FD player. I'm not sure who it was.
Okay.
But it's now
all right,
19-7. Boldest.
Correct. We got a minute 31 left in the third quarter.
The football.
Right. All right. Well, that's a break that they needed desperately.
A huge break.
Because Bravest was just going to run out the third quarter at the very least and possibly put the game away. But now at 19-7, we have a first down at the Bravest 34-yard line. You've got Palmer in shotgun formation. He's back to pass. He looks over the middle. He's under pressure. Hart pressuring. And he goes downfield. He's got somebody complete. That one inside the 10-yard line. So, I mean, look, that's a broken play, but it hits it for a huge gain.
Darren Wesley somehow gets the attention of Palmer. He says, hey, man, I'm wide open.
And he got behind the defense there. He was lost there. Is that Moody down there in coverage?
That was Wesley doing a great job, though, of checking out Palmer in distress and then got behind the coverage.
All right, first and goal here for Corrections. The Boldest trying to make this game tight. We got a handoff to number 20. Right up the middle, that is Wayne Harris yet again. Wayne Harris playing a lot of minutes on both sides of the ball.
Wayne Harris indeed is in on the tackle. Number 50 once again, Jason Carteron, who had the interception earlier in the ball game. Looking to hold the Boldest with the clock ticking now. We're just at about 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
All right, let's see if Boldest runs a play here before the end of the quarter. They may let this one run out, but if I'm them, I'm hustling up there. They got some momentum. They just made a big play. It's second and goal from the 10-yard line. This might be the last play of the quarter. He's got somebody in motion here, number 9, Minot, in motion, and that's it. That's it. It's the end of the quarter.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So they don't run. We're head to a break right now and come back with more NPSFL action.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief. I renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
Back at Aviator Sports Complex here in Brooklyn. Wanted to talk about our next broadcast just 15 days from now, John. It's going to be me and you at the 2025 Fun City Bowl. That's the NYPD finest, a powerhouse team and defending national champs versus the FDNY Bravest. That's at Mitchell Field in Long Island, Uniondale, New York, right near Hofstra University. There's a kids museum, firefighters museum right across the street from that field. So a 6:30 p.m. kickoff. We're excited to bring that to you on the NPSFL network. Will be John and I on the call. Back to live action. Big second down play for Cam Palmer. And he is back to pass. He's got plenty of time. He pump fakes, and now he's going to run it. He goes up the middle, and he's met at the 5-yard line by a couple of defenders. We'll see who's in on the tackle. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5.
Hassan goes high on Palmer, and it was just a war of attrition. Hassan staying with the big fella, number 1. Palmer, boom, up high. Gets a little help from his friends on that one. But Mike, with the 4th quarter here, this has really turned into one heck of a ball game. We've seen a little bit of everything, and this is far from over, especially if the Boldest can get it in here.
Yeah, big 3rd down here. Obviously 4-down territory for Boldest. They won't be kicking. Trailing 12 with 14 minutes to go. Here's Palmer back. He's got plenty of time. And he throws deep into the end zone. Wint leaps for it.
Oh!
Incomplete.
Man, Wint came so close to hanging on to that one. My gosh, what a beautifully thrown pass here by Cam Palmer, rolling to his right. Plenty of time, as you mentioned. On the back heel, goes deep to the back of the end zone. Wint so close.
Just out of the outstretched arms.
The linebacker, Michael Hart, the former Florida Gator, who's been all over the field today, in on the coverage for the Bravest.
Okay, 4th down. This could be the game here, John. 4th and goal from the 5.
This is the biggest play of the game right now for the Boldest.
And he's going to call his own number, Palmer is, and he gets right near the goal line. He's stood up, and they're going to keep him out of the end zone. And that's it. He doesn't get there.
The fire
Big
department
play by the Bravest. Are they looking to measure? There's no signal as to what happened here. But that's no go. He did not get there. That is going to be 1st down Bravest. Oh, now they're saying he's in?
Now they're signaling touchdown. That's too late, Mike. You got to be kidding me. Why does it take so long? I mean, you got to do a better job of the officiating there.
Let's see if he gets in here.
I mean, it's an impenetrable wall.
He's
Palmer.
Met by Zerbo and others.
1,
Palmer,
2,
he's
3.
spinning.
They stack it up. Hart's in there as well. FD says, we did it.
At some point, you blow the whistle and find out where the ball is. You can't
Man,
just
oh
wait
man,
an interminable amount of time in order to make the call as to where the guy is. But it doesn't matter what we think, John. It's a touchdown on the field. 19-13, and Fusco is out to kick an extra point to make this a 5-point game.
I guess they wanted to see where the ball was, but a lot of time elapsed.
Yeah. So
before the end of that play and the actual call for 6.
Movement under the pile. Oh, high snap, and Fusco, that's low, and it hits the crossbar. He was under pressure. Bad snap, bad hold. Yeah, that play fell apart. Not Fusco's fault. He tried to get it off, but he drills the crossbar, and it's no good.
And, Mike, instead of 14, it's 13 to the FDNY's 19. That could come back to haunt the Boldest. We'll find out more after this.
One-score game. We're back at Brooklyn after this.
We're here today right outside Colorado Springs to welcome home DT and his family here in the beautiful smart home that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has just completed.
I got hurt December 2005 in Afghanistan. And that day, we're out on a mission, and I got hit by an IED while I was in my truck. Today, we're in my home that Tunnel Tower built for me. A smart home is someone that's disabled like myself. Kind of makes their lives a little easier. The thought that I don't have to worry about paying a mortgage.
We're asking all Americans to donate $11 a month. This is where your money's going, and this is what we're doing with it.
You know, some of us came back, some of us didn't. And thank God for organizations like Tunnel Towers. They're able to be there to help us when we need it.
And we're back. Fusco kicks deep. That's Wheeler on the reception there. He's going to cross the 10, across the 20. He's up to the 30-yard line. He bounces off a tackler. He's across the 35. Wheeler to the 40. Wheeler to the 45, up to midfield. Wheeler with a big return there, John, nearly 40 yards, and gets the Bravest back to midfield.
I love the patience of Wheeler. Checking out what's in front of him. Didn't panic with the football. A beautiful return for Rob Wheeler. And the fire department are in business out at midfield. And Mike, wanted to tell you and our viewers about the Billy Moon Foundation. Organ donation can have a profound impact on not just the recipient, but donors and communities as well. We strive to be that lifeline of support for those in need. Be sure to visit BillyMoonFoundation.org for more information on how you can register to become an organ donor today.
Good stuff, buddy. A+ on that, Reed. So we are at the 50-yard line here with FDNY Bravest offense taking over. They needed a big return like that to try to come back from a couple of errors that they made defensively that allowed the Boldest to score a touchdown. This is a 19-13 ball game. Boldest did very little on offense the whole game. They still find themselves in a one-score game. First down there, handoff to
Trevor Elam. Where's Trey Wilson?
Yeah, well,
Elam getting the look here in the fourth.
Yeah, Elam gets the look, but he does run it up the middle there for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Nothing wrong with Trevor Elam.
From the 46-yard line, we'll see if the Bravest can get a little bit going. I'm of the opinion that if the Bravest are able to punch one in here, that could salt it away, because as much as the Boldest had a couple of plays there, they have not consistently gained anything on offense. Here's Heedles back to pass. Heedles downfield. He's looking for Flowers. He's got it complete. Big catch there by Evan Flowers inside the 20-yard line, inside the red zone. First down, Bravest. Big play.
And the biggest pass play of the game, Mike. Look at Heedles. Heedles, little juke there, buys himself some more time. He goes deep. Flowers, and he puts it exactly where it needed to be. And the coverage, number 4, Travis Briggins.
Credit to Heedles there, standing in there. He knew he was going to get hit. I think Heedles is at his best when he's on the move a little bit, but under pressure there, he stayed in there and delivered a strike to Evan Flowers.
And I mentioned Briggins, but that's a gutsy pass to throw from Heedles. Briggins maybe 1 or 2 steps to his left or right. Could have broken that up or even come down with the interception, but the biggest play of the day certainly for Flowers.
All right, we have a break in the action here, but while we're doing that, we'll talk about ECAD, the Educated Canines Assisting with Disabilities. Their mission is to enable people with disabilities to gain greater independence and mobility through the use of specially educated dogs. Visit ecad1.org to learn more about our Service Dogs program. On Your 6 Bourbon Whiskey is inspired by everyday heroes like nurses, police officers, teachers, and firefighters who make this country so loved and respected. We keep the military tradition of grabbing a drink to celebrate someone who's got your 6. Visit onyour6.com today to purchase your first bottle.
We just got to look at the Holy Trinity. Vinny Sheeta, Steve Orr, and Cam Peake.
We'll see if this Holy Trinity can bless the FDNY Bravest with a touchdown here, John. Heedles in shotgun formation, hands it off to Trey Wilson. Trey Wilson busts through the defense, bouncing off tacklers, and gets it down to the 10-yard line. I think he's just short of a first down, but a big run there by Trey Wilson. You said, where is he? There he is.
There he is, front and center. Look at the hole here, Mike. Great job by the O-line as the guards are pulling to the right. And there it is. You could have driven a truck through that hole. And Wilson with the head down bounces off what he kind of looks like Earl Campbell right there.
How about a little macro sports update here, Johnny? Your New York Knicks, folks, if you're out there a Knicks fan, they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. A 119-81 victory over the Boston Celtics, obviously without Jason Tatum. Tough position there for the Celts to be in, but the Knicks are back in the Eastern Conference Finals. They'll play the Pacers, so fun here for you New York City basketball fans.
And another rivalry, Boston and Indiana for the Knicks.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. Elam gets the carry. He's going to pick up the first down. He's driven back, but forward progress should be stopped after the first down.
And, you know, Mike, Vinny Sheeta with another run call, eating up a lot of clock here as a flag comes in late, Mike.
We got a late flag there. I think that was a personal foul on the Boldest. So they did not get the first down, but this penalty gives them the first down. That is a brutal time to pick up.
Yeah, not in a 6-point ball game, Mike. You can't make that mistake.
I think that's Savion Adams, number 43, gets called for it. I don't know what you could possibly be. They stop Elam after the first down run, excuse me. Well, either way, it's first down at the 5-yard line, half the distance, and it'll be first down. This is how FDNY can put it away. Under 11 minutes to go, John. First and goal at 5.
This is it. Go up by 2 scores if they can get 6 here.
All right, here it is. Heedles, shotgun formation. And that snap is on the ground. Heedles jumps on it, and the ball's all the way back to the 15-yard line. So it goes from first and goal at the 5 to second and goal from the 15. A bad snap there. It skipped by Heedles' feet, and there was nothing he could do but jump on the ball. He wasn't going to make a play out of that.
So the FDNY shooting themselves in the foot there. There were some costly penalties in that first half for the fire department. We've seen the Boldest now with a couple of tough penalties as well, but no penalty there, just poor execution. And that's going to back it up for the fire department. They'll get another crack at it here on second down.
Okay, so here we go. It's Heedles.
A long 16, Mike.
Shotgun formation. They got Trey Wilson sort of lined up in an I formation, and they're going to hand it off to Wilson. He bounces it out to the left side. He's across the 10-yard line and pushed out of bounds at the 9. It'll be third and goal from the 9-yard line. All right, they pick up an important 6 yards there.
Wayne Harris could have been called maybe for a late hit.
But the field goal here, obviously really important too. At a 6-point ball game, if they just make this third down play an easier field goal for Francis Cole to try to go up 9-22-13, that might be enough in this game.
For sure. Wayne Harris actually was fine on that hit on getting Wilson out of bounds. But, Mike, you said it. So with 9:15 now to go, that'll bring up 3rd and 9.
All right, we got Heedles with Tremaine Wilson lined up behind him. He's got 3 wide to his right, and he's looking to throw, and it's a fade route to, is that Ortega? That's a touchdown, FDNY Bravest. Big-time touchdown, big throw by Heedles. And that is not Ortega, that is Evan Flowers on the touchdown catch. Great catch and throw there by the FDNY offense. I don't know that I saw that one coming, but they had isolated coverage, and here's Heedles.
One-on-one coverage, Mike, you said it. Heedles had one intended receiver and one only, and it's been the Evan Flowers show here in the second half, and Curley had no idea that ball was coming. And doing a great job was Flowers getting up in the air for a huge touchdown.
On this drive, obviously 2 big plays by Flowers. The 30-yard pass play he catches from Heedles, and now the touchdown play. So I think that one's going to really make it difficult for the Boldest. And here's Cole out for the extra point to make it a 13-point game.
Every time,
and another false start on FDNY. It's just
every time the fire department gets a little space between them and the Boldest have found a way, Mike, to come back. So we'll see. They're going to need to put things together quickly.
It's all academic now, but in a 12-point game, I'm probably going for 2 to make it 14. They were going to kick the extra point to go up 13. But now with the false start, they're pushed back. They got to kick the extra point anyway. So 25-yard extra point here for Cole. He's shown no issues in getting those converted earlier in the game. But as you said, under 9 minutes to go. What a costly penalty, too, by Boldest.
By the way, have you ever talked to Francis Cole? He is
went to my high school.
Right out of Central Casting as a firefighter in New York City.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he just looks the part. He sounds the part. He's got a lot of confidence. I'm a big fan.
Shout out to St. Francis Prep High School, of which both Francis Cole and I are alums. And no, that was not Francis Cole. I'm sorry. That is number 19, Antonio Taramina, on the extra point there. So Cole relinquishes one of the kicking duties there to Taramina. But you're right on Cole. We're going to hit a break right now and come back with more NPSFL action.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise. I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know. And we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
All right, here's Francis Cole setting up to kick off. Taramina good on the extra point, making it 26-13. And here's Francis Cole. He's got a kick from the 20-yard line. FDNY Bravest assessed with a 15-yard personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct after the extra point. So here he is. Cole booms it. He does send it all the way back into the arms of number 7. That's Wesley, who weaves in between the defense for about a 17-yard return on that one. He gets it back up to the 37-yard line. So here we go, John. 8.5 minutes to go. 26-13. Boldest trying to stave off elimination from the championship. FDNY trying to stay alive here until the Fun City Bowl in a couple of weeks, where you and I will be in attendance. So what do they need to do here?
Well, Darren Wesley, first of all, has been terrific here for the Boldest all game long, has shown so much ability offensively and a good return there. This is going to have to be the Cam Palmer show. He has shown the ability to throw the ball downfield, create offense both through the air and on the ground.
Here's Palmer being chased ruthlessly by the FDNY Bravest defense, and that one's going to be picked off by Bravest. Ill-advised throw. He's under pressure from 3 different guys, but in a one-on-one matchup, who do we got there? Is that
Khalifa Forbes?
There you go.
South Carolina State product, and Palmer throws into double, might even have been triple coverage, and Khalifa Forbes was all over that one. And desperate times, desperate risks from number 1 Palmer.
What are they saying now?
And they're calling a roughing the passer?
Oh,
boy.
Can we get a shot of that? We might not even have that. Let's see. So here you can see Palmer is rolling out. Who's chasing him there? Number 53. Oh, that is a late hit.
Yeah, he came in late.
So there's no question that pass was picked off, but number 53, Carlos Holmes, with a shot right up around the chin of Palmer.
And Holmes has been effective today, a little overly aggressive on that play. And once again, the Boldest have life.
How about T&D Sports Productions catching that angle on the nice job on the replay.
Terrific
nice
job
on the
as
camera
always.
work.
Tom, Dave, and of course our fearless leader, Andy Singleton from the Fire Department of New York, who's managed to put this all together here in 2025, not only in New York, but in cities across the country, representing the National Public Safety Football League, including our broadcast partner, Fox Nation.
So here we go, second down and 10. From the 47-yard line of the Bravest. So a massive penalty. We think Khalifa Forbes' interception might salt the game away, but the late hit on Palmer, and it gives them a first down, and we'll see what they can do with it.
And the Boldest just refuse to go quietly. They refuse to go away. 7:30, almost down to 7:30 to go. You got twins to the left, twins to the right. This one's going to go into the air.
It's a false start here. False start on the Boldest.
We mentioned some of the fatigue factor late in this ball game. We've seen a couple mental lapses now in a row.
All right, so false start there. It's going to be third down. They'll push him back another 5 yards. No, it remains second down. Sorry, the down marker being switched back and forth. All right, 26-13. 7:20 left in the game. We'll flash the standings here in a moment to give you a sense of what's on the line here for both these teams and what it looks like going forward. Palmer waves the back out to Palmer is just now on his own. Oh, geez, they're not even looking at him. He's Justin Hassan chasing him down, and he's tackled right at by Moody, right at the sidelines.
Moody upset about something.
So that's number 55 for the Bravest
player.
That was Justin Hassan running downfield, and I think he thought Palmer had thrown the ball.
We got a player down on the sideline.
45 Taylor thought he was. Was there a penalty at the end of that play? No.
No, there's a player shaken up on the sideline, and that's what's causing the delay.
Okay. All right, third down and 2 from the 39-yard line. So Palmer calls his own number, runs probably 50 yards all told, back and forth on the field, but picks up a few yards. A few yards, 39-yard line. It's 3rd and 2.
Could be the play of the game right here now for the Boldest.
All right, Palmer back to pass. He is under pressure, and now he rolls out. I think there's a hold there that they don't call, but Palmer picks up the first down. And he's ripped down to the ground at the 35-yard line. There's a seal block there on the right side that Palmer gets around. I don't see how that's not a hold, but you'll see it right here.
Palmer once again on the loose.
Number 78 for the Boldest, I think got away with one there. That's Adam Glenn holding one of the Bravest linemen.
Palmer with the first down and then some. As number 1, Cameron Palmer keeping the hopes alive single-handedly here. With under 6 to go in the fourth quarter, it's a 2-score game. They're gonna have to get one quick here.
So they pick up the first down there, but I gotta say, we're approaching 5.5 minutes left. They're down 2 touchdowns. We need a little bit of urgency here out of the Boldest offense. It may be the Cam Palmer show, but he can't do it all on his own in the last 6 minutes. And here he's back to pass, and he pump fakes. And he's back at his own 50, avoids a couple of tacklers, and now is ripped down to the ground. That is number 43, Alan Prockett, with the sack on Palmer as he's twisting away from multiple tacklers. But Prockett 5'11", 215 with the tackle. Haven't called his name much today, but he's got a big play here.
Crockett never gave up on the play. He just as easily could have there. Comes back in towards the middle of the field. Shoestring. Palmer not going anywhere.
All right, we got a timeout here. 2nd and long. And I think the Bravest, I'm not sure who called that one. I think the Bravest called it. We're going to hit a commercial break and be back right after this.
You want to...
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
All right, we're back here. Just wanted to flash the standings up there. You can see San Bernardino at 4-0 in Division II. They are in the catbird seat, as is Chicago at 3-0 in Division I. But NYPD, here's Palmer.
Free play.
Deep. That's one-on-one. That ball knocked away. Nice play there.
By Phipps.
By Phipps. Anthony Phipps in coverage. There is a flag down.
And we got Bedlam out in the field. There's 2 flags down, one in the backfield, one in the secondary. You might see 2 different calls here, Mike.
I think that's offensive pass interference on number 7, Darren Wesley. And now there's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on number 7, Darren Wesley.
Number 23 also for the Boldest. Might have been penalized. That was Wint. So there's the first flag. Palmer back to pass, going deep.
I mean, I didn't see much there. But
I mean, the ball was way underthrown. Phipps can't do anything there but stay where he is.
I think that's on.
I don't see how that's pass interference.
I think that's on offensive pass interference. I think what the call is. I actually don't think there's a call there at all. I think it's 2 players fighting for the ball, but
well, we'll see.
Offsides defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
All right, it's offsetting.
Okay.
So they're saying 2 unsportsmanlike conducts. 2nd and 17, Mike, with 4:44 to go. By the way, Chicago playing in Dallas tomorrow. Nothing against Dallas, but it looks like Chicago, NYPD will be 4-0 after tomorrow. We were talking about those standings earlier. FDNY still very much in the hunt with the win here tonight.
Yes. So we talked about it, elimination game basically for whichever one of these teams loses. There's Palmer. He fakes it and calls his own number. The keeper up the middle. And he stopped after a gain of about 4 on the play. That gets it to the 30-yard line. But this is what I was saying earlier, John. We are approaching 4 minutes to go. They're down 2 touchdowns, and they are not acting like it.
Palmer once again on the keeper.
You got to be in 2-minute drills right now. And
as the clock continues to run down, Mike, on that run.
And they're under 4 minutes now after this snap. And we'll see what Palmer can dial up here. The quarterback keepers are effective, but it's 5 yards at a time. He's going to have to do a lot more than that in order to overcome a 13-point deficit with 3:45 to go. All right, Palmer back to pass under pressure. He lofts it out. He gets it to Wint. Wow, Wint, he gets the ball and gets it inside the 10-yard line. A catch and run there. First time he's been able to do something with it. That's Jason Wint
Look at the world-class speed here by Wint after the reception. And again, Palmer steps up in the pocket, one-on-one coverage, Wint exposes it, and that's world-class speed after the catch.
We got a timeout here for Bravest. FDNY Bravest call the timeout. They want to know what their defensive setup is going to look like here, as it is going to be a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. We're going to head to a break and come right back after this.
Hey Frank, how you doing? Andy Pettitte is one of America's greatest pitchers that has played for the New York Yankees. He has never forgotten what happened on September 11th.
The grief I know that you and your family had to go through, but what you've turned that tragedy into really a triumph.
What we do for catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star families, giving them mortgage-free homes.
The 100-home village that y'all are going to build down in Tampa, it's just amazing.
They go protect us overseas, they give their lives. We better take care of their families that are left behind.
I just kept seeing those commercials over and over, and it gets to you, right? I mean, if you're an American, I really just felt, in my heart, just like, man, this is something I wanted to find out more about and look into, and then, of course, just be involved. The Bible tells us that when we restore others, that ourselves will be restored.
Join me in supporting our nation's heroes and their families. It only takes $11 a month.
Go to T2T.org.
All right, here we go. 3:19 to go in the game. 26-13, FDNY over the Department of Corrections, the Boldest. But the Boldest have the ball. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line after the catch and run by Wint.
It's a huge test right here for the fire department defense.
Palmer's throwing on 1st down. He's under pressure again, and he's going to launch it deep into the end zone, and it's batted up in the air. And for a touchdown. Number 7, Darren Wesley on the deflection, catches it. And now, after all of this time of the Boldest offense not doing anything, they've got back-to-back touchdowns here, and it's 26-19, a 7-point game with the extra point pending.
Wesley, Johnny on the spot. The ball bounces around. We were just talking about the impact number 7's had. Palmer buys the time, puts it up, bounces off a couple of defenders for the fire department and directly into the hands of Wesley. You got to be kidding me.
Zerbo was there in coverage. Ball gets tipped up in the air. Almost not quite a Hail Mary, but it was a desperation pass, and they get a little bit of lucky.
And that missed extra point by Corrections earlier in the game, we said it might come back to haunt them. We'll see what happens here.
They need this one. So 26-19, extra point here is good. That makes it 26-20, and the Bravest, despite the Bravest had an opportunity to put this game away, they didn't, and now they find themselves in a dogfight. 3 minutes to go. They're going to need to pick up a couple of 1st downs. I guarantee this is the Trey Wilson show, but if you're Corrections, you also have to consider managing clock, managing the timeouts.
You're right.
Is there any kind of an onside kick situation?
Deflect off of Zerbo, and in a situation like that, it's easy to say from up here, but tapping the ball up into the air helps nobody.
Yeah.
But Zerbo wasn't in a position to smack it away. He did get a hand on it, but all that did was give number 7 for the Boldest an opportunity to corral it, and Darren Wesley with a huge touchdown for the Boldest, and we've been saying it all second half. Corrections refusing to go away, and we talked about the magic that Cam Palmer continues to create over and over and over. It's really remarkable how he's able to hold on to the football, buy time, and that time it was pay dirt for the Boldest as they are right back in it, Mike.
You're right about that, John. So here we go. Fusco to kick off. You've got Wheeler and Flowers back to receive. And that one is short, but Flowers going to take it. He tries to make a move. Nothing going. He's going to get pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. All right. It's not complicated, John. 2:59 to go, 6-point lead for the Bravest. And they got to pick up a couple of first downs to put this one away.
Well, it's, with 2:59, just under 3 to go, the worst case scenario for the Finest right now, for the Bravest, I'm sorry, little Freudian slip, would be a 3 and out. Got to take it down at a time, but keep that clock moving, as you mentioned, Mike.
This is the Trey Wilson show. There's no reason to get cute here. I think you try to run it 3 times to Trey Wilson, pick up a first down, and see how much clock is left.
Well, it's all come down to this.
All right, here it is. Heedles in shotgun formation. Bunch formation to his left. Trey Wilson standing right behind him, and we got a false start on the Bravest. Unbelievable. The false starts by the Bravest have plagued them on extra points and on offensive sets consistently. They've had a couple of offside penalties on defense as well. So these procedural penalties are plaguing FDNY the whole night. They still have this lead, though, 26-20, a game they desperately need to win. And that's going to push it back to the 27-yard line.
It certainly does.
1st and 15, and that makes it a lot more difficult to do the Trey Wilson show that I was talking about. Now they need to pick up 15 yards.
Shotgun set for Heedles, as we've seen all game long.
All right, Heedles does hand it off to Wilson. He goes left, and he's stacked up at the behind the line of scrimmage. And we got a fight there. I saw a punch thrown, and there's no penalty.
I can't believe we're seeing this in such a close ball game. Gotta love the intensity, but you've got to be disciplined. You don't want to throw this ball game away for the fire department of New York in a must-win situation if they want to keep their national championship intentions alive.
So tension's running high here. Obviously, fans yelling at refs. Refs are under the gun right now. So
more importantly, Mike, they are way backed up. Second and 17.
Yeah. Second and looks like, yeah, that's about right. 2nd and 17. They call a timeout.
Oh,
they want to know what they're doing here. We're going to hit a break and come back after the timeout.
There's a flag on the play.
Determine if you have a valid personal injury claim. First, you need an injury. Then you have to determine if someone else was negligent. If there's a link between that negligence and your injury, you've got a strong case and you can proceed.
Koval and Associates. We fight for you.
No.
Okay, here we go. 2nd down and 17. No, that's more than that now after the delay of game penalty. I think we're 2nd and 23 right now.
Before the break, it was a delay of game.
So here's Heedles. He's got a throw here, and he gets it out to Wheeler, who does stay in bounds. And they'll try to run clock corrections.
Well, a heads-up play by Rob Wheeler to keep the ball in bounds. I mean, the only thing we can take as a positive in that series is Wheeler staying in bounds. I mean, the fire department, delay a game, offsides.
And corrections does call the timeout there to stop the clock with 1:54 to go. It's 3rd, and it'll look like 17 now for FDNY. Since we are sticking around, I'll tell you the Tunnel to Towers Foundation since 9/11. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes by providing mortgage-free homes to Gold Star and fallen first responder families. We are also committed to eradicating veteran homelessness and helping America to never forget September 11th, 2001.
Mike, you said it could have been the Trey Wilson show, and it's in that last series. It definitely could have been, if not for those costly penalties And, Mike, I got a bad feeling about this. I hate to say this, but as wild as this game has been, I said it pregame, it could come down to the last possession, and we may see that here in the fourth quarter.
It's looking that way right now, John. Third and forever. And Heedles, is in a really interesting position where they desperately need the first down, but he cannot do anything stupid here and get this ball picked off. So they're going to do their best to protect him. I wouldn't be surprised if they're calling a blitz here.
Trips left.
Heedles keeps it, so they're going to keep it safe, and he runs up the middle for about 6 yards. It'll be 4th down and 11. Boldest does call their final timeout with 1:46 to go in the game. I believe that rids them of all their timeouts, but they're going to have an opportunity to pick up the game. We'll hit a quick commercial break here and be right back with more action.
If you've been injured on the job, first notify your employer, seek immediate medical attention, and then call me at 516-280-4033. We act aggressively to litigate your matter's conclusion, and we keep you fully informed throughout the litigation process. I'm here to fight for you.
Okay, here we go. Punting situation here. Francis Cole in to punt for FDNY.
Well, if you're Steve Orr, thank goodness you've got number 15 on your side. This is a huge punt for Cole, Mike.
We talked about Jason Wentz athleticism all night. Cole draining some clock there. He does punt it deep to Wint, who does catch it, drops it, and it's picked up by FDNY. Wint muffs the punt, and FDNY jumps on it. That's your ball game, John.
And Wint is incredulous as he's slumped over. I can't believe it. That's the guy who you want the ball to go to if you're a Boldest fan. And Wint just simply couldn't handle it.
Francis Cole did something really clever there. He hung onto the ball to waste a few seconds. And since Boldest had turned and ran to block, Wint felt the pressure of 4 different guys on him. Who picked up that ball there, John? Might have to run that back. Might have to run that back to see who got that ball. But, all right, John's going to head down for his post-game interview with our player of the game. We'll tell you who that's going to be there in just a moment. But a huge turn of events there. They are highlighting number 23 for FDNY. That is Zane Danoon. I believe he picked up the fumble. But we'll run it back one more time. That's going to be the play of the game. I don't think the Boldest has any more timeouts. If they do, it's just the one. And here's Heedles handing it off to Trey Wilson. He goes right up the middle and is tackled after a gain of 3. And that will be a whistle. So Corrections did have their final timeout at 1:26 to go. This will be a couple of kneel outs. Really, that should do it for here. We're playing it again. Here's the key play of the game. Cole punts it. Wint looking to make something happen, misjudges it a little bit, goes through his legs, and that's right. Number 23, Zane Danoon. We really didn't call his name all night, but we do on the biggest play of the game. He helps to put it away. So special teams clutch for FDNY again. They have the best kicker in the league in Francis Cole. He handles kicking duties, punting duties, and that is certainly a key play there. And with 1:26 to go, that should do it. 26-20 is the score. Obviously, you don't count it before it's done, and we'll see what happens here in these final couple of snaps. But they should be kneeling it out. That should drain most of the clock. Ball will be at the 15-yard line. on this snap. Now they got it down, they got it down to the 11-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 11. And the ball is back in. This should be victory formation. Not quite. They're not ready to give a victory formation yet. There's Trey Wilson lined up next to Heedles. And Heedles is going to kneel it out. So he kneels it down, takes a loss of a few, but that really should come close to doing it. If you run the clock here, this would get him down to about 40 seconds. And then that final kneel out should do it. There could be a couple of seconds left based on the timing. But we'll see what Heedles does here. He's going to have to snap it, or he's going to get a delay of game penalty, which would be disastrous. So here you go. This will be it for, they are in victory formation. Heedles on a bad snap, kneels it out, and that will do it. So that's it. It's going to be the final. 26-20, FDNY Bravest get the victory over the Department of Corrections, the NYC Boldest. So that's going to do it. They made it a lot closer than it should have been, but they get the victory. We'll head to a break, and when we come back, we'll have John Heffernan down on the field with our player of the game.
Tom Olkers served others.
He was an incredible husband, father, NYPD officer, and FDNY firefighter.
At age 26, Tom worked at Ground Zero in the rescue and recovery efforts following the attacks of 9/11.
Throughout his courageous battle against World Trade Center cancer, Tom deeply appreciated the care provided for him and his family, including the FDNY's Family Assistance Unit.
One of the TO Foundation's first initiatives is to purchase a family assistance van to help ease the burden for other firefighters and their families when facing an illness.
Together, we will honor Tom by helping first responders and their families in their hour of need. Please visit tofamilyfoundation.org today.
For over 2 decades, Rigging NYC Contractors, Inc. has been the go-to provider of rigging services in New York City. Specializing in construction and industrial rigging, as well as machinery moving, we are dedicated to delivering safe and timely solutions. Our team consists of licensed master riggers, operating engineers, Teamster drivers, steam fitters, and iron workers. No matter the industrial or construction application, we have the lifting solution for you. In addition to rigging services, we offer specialized trucking services to handle equipment and materials. Our fleet of tractor trailers and experienced drivers make us the premier choice for New York trucking, including oversized freight and heavy loads. When it comes to rigging, trust the experts, the licensed master riggers at Rigging NYC Contractors. Contact us today for more information and let us make your next project a resounding success.
Okay, live from Aviator Sports Complex in Brooklyn, New York. We have a final here in NPSFL matchup. FDNY Bravest 26, NYC Department of Corrections, the NYCD Boldest 20. So Boldest will be out of the running for championship. The Bravest stay alive for the Fun City Bowl in a couple of weeks. We're going to head down to the sidelines where John Heffernan is with our player of the game. That's Evan Flowers.
Thank you, Mike Blewett. Final score here from the field. Aviator Field 26-20 in what many might argue was a must-win game in this 2025 season. Joining us now, our player of the game, number 2, Evan Flowers. 2 huge receptions in the second half, including a tremendous TD reception. I'm convinced you're switching from number 6 to number 2 this year. Is that the big secret, Flowers?
Yeah, that's the big secret, man.
Remember last year, you used to call me Timmy Donaldson. So now this year, we just go by each other twin. That's what we do every time we see each other.
Listen, all kidding aside, a tough loss against Chicago 2 weeks ago down in Nashville. You lost a lot of guys from 2024. How big was this game? What was the message going into this matchup tonight against a very tough Boldest team?
Hey, man, at the end of the day, you got to move on from the loss, learn from it, and go out there and execute like we did today. It took us a while to get things started, but once we got things rolling, it's the end of the game right there.
Evan, you've been one of the most dynamic players on this team. 7 years now, a member of this fire department team. There's so many things you can do. How much does it mean to you to continue to perform, to continue to contribute with big plays, and are you excited for May 31st?
That cop game is something to look forward to for sure. But the way I do it, man, the guys need me, man. At the end of the day, they need me at the end of the day, and hey, man, I like to be a good teammate at the end of the day, and I'm here to win. I'm here to bring the winning mentality and the winning attitude. That's all it is with me.
Evan Flowers, our player of the game, a huge touchdown in the second half. The Fire Department of New York improves to 3-1 in this 2025 season. No rest for the weary. The Cops are on the horizon. They're undefeated to keep the national championship hopes alive. It's the Fun City Bowl coming to you May 31st from Mitchell Field. We'll have it for you live on Fox Nation. Evan, thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, y'all have a good night.
And we'll head it back up to Mike Blewett, John Heffernan saying good night, everybody.
Okay, back. That's Evan Flowers, our player of the game. Big touchdown catch in the second half, ends up being the game-winning touchdown. And just wanted to thank everybody for watching and listening to the NPSFL network broadcast. If anyone is interested in contributing to a specific team, the league as a whole, or advertising with the NPSFL, please send a DM on Instagram or email at the npsfl.network@gmail.com. These teams and this league is supported by fundraising only, so we'd love your help. And what I would say is that tremendous broadcast here, a highly competitive game. Thanks to T&D Sports Productions, Andy Singleton, Tom, Jamie, Dave, Jeff, and everybody involved in the crew. Of course, my partner, John Heffernan. We'll see you in 2 weeks at the Fun City Bowl. It's going to be NYPD Finest versus FDNY Bravest team. A lot on the line in that game. It'll be in Hempstead, Uniondale, Long Island. So looking forward to seeing you on NPSFL Network then. Saturday, May 31st, 6:30 p.m. kickoff. For John Heffernan, I'm Mike Blewett. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.